Howdy. Ooh, we're gonna. Okay, so I don't do this. I don't do the reacty stuff, so I don't. Yeah. No. I'm gonna give this a bash. Oh, we're going. I'm watching the. There's a fan translation thing. We're watching that one. Oh, 1 second. Ignore that.
From the producer and director.
Let me sort my thing.
And the one at the right of the screen will be Fox Clon, the community director of Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, yes, there will be VOD after the end of the stream.
There we go.
So the last producer live letter was apparently at the 10th of April.
Oh, do you want to watch the actual
Apparently it feels
stream of this?
long and
So?
short at the same time.
Don't want my terrible commentary.
Yeah, indeed, it has been 3 months since the last BOL. Many things have happened during patch 6.1 and he apologizes for any inconveniences that was caused throughout the patch.
Are there many issues? Oh,
And
yeah, housing.
the development for patch 6.2 is currently running a full swing. So everything is going smoothly.
I don't remember if there was anything else, but housing was a pretty big one.
First feature of Final Fantasy XIV patch 6.2.
Yes, sir.
So now we are going into the stream. Yoshipi checking if the stream volume is okay for everyone.
There's a lot of inception of people commentating upon people, I guess, doing this. He's commentating on them, I'm commentating on him. The volume looks alright on my thing though. I think I'm slightly louder.
Apparently, a stream comment was talking about Fox Clone's t-shirt, which is stated there as super dry.
Actually, that's not true.
Reflecting the current weather right now, I think it's quite appropriate. Super Dry is actually a beer brand in Japan. Yeah. It's probably not available in where you're living, but it's quite a prominent beer brand.
Actually, should do this.
He's just wearing the t-shirt because he likes it. It's not
It's a
because
good way for me to check my audio
it feels hot or anything
levels.
else. So
It's a very nice t-shirt. I like it. To be fair, he's always got some pretty cool
just
t-shirts.
to reiterate that he's not wearing this t-shirt because he feels hot.
I understand that.
Proceed with the next
He says, wearing a hoodie and a t-shirt. When it's
So
warm.
this is going to be
I got the window
first
open.
part of the patch 6.2 feature.
That's something.
6.18 will be released on the next Tuesday. We are going to get into patch 6.18 first before moving into 6.2 for real.
Okay.
7月5日公開でですね、ちょっと注意点なんですけど、今回非常に大きなシステム変更だったり、サーバー調整だったりが行われる都合上、メンテナンスが
New worlds will be interesting.
パッチにしては初なのかもしれないですけど、24時間メンテに
Wonder how they'll
なり
do.
ますので、すみませんがよろしくお願いします。
Please note that this particular patch is going to be a little bit major compared to the minor patches that were released on the past, where the maintenance will take about 24 hours. This
Oh
is
joy.
done in order to ensure that the server is stable.
Makes sense though.
Coming with 6.18 will be
I
the
guess.
data center travel, along with the addition of new Japanese data center called Meteor.
本当にパツンパツンという状態でですね、なんとか機材確保できましたので、
Yeah,
ワールド
are the EU servers all that full?
Apparently, they managed to secure quite a number amount
I'm
of
on Louis
servers,
Suarez, so I don't know.
and they hope that with the addition of servers, they will be able to address the congestion that was happening in the past few months.
Yeah, it should be good for the future, I imagine. Anything pops up?
Along with that,
Are
will
any
be
issues?
the second season of Crystal Conflict online as well.
Ooh.
As already reported in the last few blog posts that Yoshipi did, there will be some adjustments for PvP
Good.
Jobs for PvP,
Good.
for frontlines and Crystal Conflict, both of them.
I like No Life that for 3 days, and then I haven't played it since, so I should probably pop back on for Season 2.
Please note that the maintenance will be on Monday night, so be very prepared.
Righty, alrighty.
That will be all for patch 6.9. Now, they will be able to move on to patch 6.2. First of all,
Ooh.
patch title.
Ooh.
Let's
Yes.
start from the patch title.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently it's okay to show the patch title because showing the faces of both of them won't help anything. Therefore, let's go. Patch
It
6.2.
was nice to look at, though.
The Buried Memory.
Oh.
Kingdom no Memoria in Japanese, it
Interesting.
means the Forbidden Memory.
Oh, forbidden. Interesting.
What happened? Did something break? Says Yoshida.
これまでプレイをスタートしてから何回割ったかって。
So
Bad as my
apparently
streams.
it's like ever since Final Fantasy XIV has run its course, there were many things broken throughout. Was there going to be a meaning to that? Is this going to imply that something is going to break in this patch 6.2? We don't know yet.
禁断のメモリアというパッチタイトルでお届け
Buried memory, huh?
So yeah, this will be the title for patch 6.2.
I have no idea what that could be referring to.
Coming late August 2022 will be the release of patch 6.2.
Alrighty. 2 months then.
Currently,
Two-ish.
they are entering adjustment period
レールでは
for the whole patch, and it's running full swing right now.
交えてね、お伝えしていけ
Lovely jubbly.
おります。はい。
I don't know if that's on pace with what they said or not. I forget when 6.1 came out. I know they said it'd be every 4 months now,
Once
right?
again, it's called Buried Memory, Kingdom no Memoria,
物量がまた
which
I feel like that works.
literally translated as
Yeah.
the Forbidden Memories.
I don't think it came out any earlier than late April, did it? So I think that
So
would work.
with this part 1, they will be introducing
May,
what is going to
June,
come for
July,
patch 6.2.
では順に参りましょう。
So let's go in by order.
They've got the island thing in the background, so there must be something about that happening, right? Get some news finally.
ということで、そのパッチ6.2に実装されていくコンテンツっていうものをざっくり、とにかく、できる限り
Ooh, is the MSQ.
So they are going to go through this in a quick pace, but to introduce as much as possible throughout the segment.
Okay.
There will be a lot coming for patch 6.2, of course. They will be introducing 2 screenshots for the upcoming major
Alright,
scenario patch.
sits in the MSQ, huh? So this will be the void stuff.
Well.
そしてもう一枚
So another one.
Mm,
Oh.
なんとかさん
A
interesting.
certain someone.
I suppose that makes
Who's that,
sense.
I wonder?
It did pop up at the end.
なのかもわからないですが
Whether it's a he or she, we do not know.
I assume the memory is something to do with them.
But apparently,
Like
this
their memory.
Particular character
どうなります
fully exists as a character. Says Yoshida.
はい
Cool.
まあちょっと今回は
I'm looking forward to seeing more of that.
So for now, this will be the introduction for the main scenario quest.
後ろの人がね
Makes sense to have Sid there as well.
So who is the one that is covering the eyes? We don't know.
Mm.
気になりますよね。
Certainly is intriguing.
Who's the one covering their eyes?
Certainly is intriguing.
Ooh. I never even considered that might be a thing. I just posed.
One string comment says
Funky
that
thing
are we
with the
going to
design.
get involved in something weird?
え
Who knows?
で続いて、新たな
New side quest.
Next will be new side quests.
6.1 から始まりました。1シリーズから始まり
Yeah,
ました。
son.
タルの大繁盛商店の
So there will be a continuation to Tataru's Grand Endeavor.
I
that
guess
is
that's
already released in patch 6.15.
Every patch then. Will that be in
There will be
2.5?
a few screenshots coming up.
はい、ご覧ください。はい。
Oh,
Oh, hey, Sky Pirates.
なんかね、
Okay.
人によってはもう出会ったことのある。
はいはいはいはい。
so to certain players, we might be familiar of this particular character already.
Indeedy.
So
Yeah, this is why I did made sure to get the Stormblood trials out of the way. Because I imagine we'll be, seeing them at some point. Maybe not next patch, but one day.
にこうまあ
So I think I'm all caught up on that stuff.
So there will be a
まあ
lot
というわ
of
けでですね、受注条件がございます。
flashbacks or something like that,
シャ
revisiting
ドウグマ派シリ
the
ーズ
past
うん
NPC
20
Okay,
that appeared
yeah.
in some of the side
シャドウ
quests.
グマ派シリーズの
Shadow of
ベス
Muck
トコンプリートが
quest series.
So for 6.2, the continuation of Grand Endeavor will require players to complete the Shadow of Mark quest series.
ぜひ
So for those who haven't played Shadow of Mark quest, please
早めに言っとく
Which
feel
one's
free.
that?
We welcome you to play the side quest.
Was that raid? I assume I've done it. I think I've done all the big things now.
Although this isn't really a main story.
いうことコンセプトなのでこのシリーズの。
なるほどなるほど。
I'm looking forward to seeing where the Tataru one goes.
で、続いてですが、先日大暴れして皆さんいろいろ
There's the one I want.
喜んでいただけたんじゃないか
Make me happy, chappy.
The next side quest that everyone
ね
gets really excited about.
The Tataru one doesn't say
The
0.5.
continuation or somehow further Hildebrand adventures.
Interesting. I wonder if I'll be in the main patch this time then.
太刀打ちしてますよね、本当にね。
Apparently, well, I guess that Warriors of Light is getting very, very used to the hijinks coming from Hildebrand. So
True.
巻き込まれていく感じがね、いる
Vale.
いやもう
yeah, we will get to see Hildebrand getting involved in many more
戻ってきたヒルディに出る
stuff.
I can't wait.
あれがどう
That might be the thing I'm most excited for, to be honest.
あれがやれて満足。
なるほどね。
Really enjoyed the last one.
あれ
まあ確かに。
For the title card that appears in 6.5 is apparently very heavy. It's something that Yoshi really wanted to implement in the game.
てきたヒルディのプロスの件がこちらはパッチ
So
6.25で
yeah, there will be the somehow the gist of somehow further Hildebrand
こちらも
adventures.
スリーショットがございます。はい、
There will
Ooh,
be
the
like,
music.
I wonder what troubled the Warrior of Light to venture to make this happen
ガ
and
イ
so
ア
on.
選手がどれだけ苦労して
Nah, she's gonna end up on the moon too, huh? Makes sense. That's where we left Hildy.
もうね
Yeah. So
Wonder if Poo Poo will be there.
Warrior of Light looks
Get a
so
poo-poo
much,
screenshot.
suffered so much to get
I don't
here,
know what
but
poo-poo is.
somehow you see Nashio getting here so nonchalantly.
Someone told me he's called Poo Poo. That's all I know.
Really free.
そうね。
You
アー
know,
テリスの外へ広がっていっているので
it's getting so ridiculous that nobody knows what's happening
ナッシ
anymore.
ュは多分何の驚きもない
That's the way it's gotta
Yeah,
be.
no, nothing surprising and all that.
That's what makes it
So
fun.
ridiculous that you don't feel surprised anymore.
ね
So from
That's
now
true.
on, from now on,
新たな
New
there will be
weapon
new
enhancement
weapon
quest.
enhancement quest for patch 6.25.
まあ数々の
What's that all about?
強化シリーズコンテンツやってきたんですけど、
はい
結構なんか事前予想で
来たわね。来た。
なん
Is
か
that like the relic thing, or is that
So
something
there were
else?
many prior weapon enhancement quests in the past, but a lot of them will require a prerequisite
ことがね入ってる
Hmm.
that requires to do something else beforehand before you get the weapon to its full swing,
そうか。なるほどね。
to its full
ゾディアックとか
yeah, to full potential like Zodiac weapons, animal weapons, and so on.
それを見た時に、皆さんの深読みすごいなと思ったんですよ
あ。りがたい。
Alright.
で今回
This is 2.5 as well, huh?
出来上がっていくのかというとですね、まずこちらです。
I do quite like that they spread them
So,
out, to be honest.
Detailing how it's going to
今回
What?
detailing how this will go through. Apparently, you need to first unlock that weapon enhancement through Hildebrand,
What?
and it's getting really ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. The comments are currently going wow right now.
Well, now I have to see
What?
this.
Why?
Oh, is it gonna be the joke ones from the fan-made ones, maybe?
これはすごい。
Like the silly versions. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
この名もですね、
Apparently,
皆さんにはマンダビルウェポン
Although they upgrade, don't they? So it's probably not.
and yeah, currently the name of the
To be fair, that
weapon
makes sense.
enhancement quest will be legendary Mandeville weapons.
マンダビルウェポン
God, but is like a master builder.
And yeah, that gets quite a lot of funny reactions from everyone else.
Oh, I like that.
There is no telling whether this weapon will be ridiculously funny or going to be ridiculously strong. No one can tell anymore.
Why not both?
And this time,
Oh,
will
that's
be
a really
first
fun
person
idea.
version.
I like that.
で、いつもと同じでですね、6.x シリーズ
Okay.
で、継続的に強化。
And this will be updated throughout 6.x
I wonder if that means it's not going to be quite as
どう
grindy.
なのかっていうところなんですけど、まあちょっと
And we
I
do
would
not
not be
know what
opposed to
will
that.
happen in the end,
2枚
but
ほど
yeah.
お持ちしました。
But we will be showing you two
ご覧いただ
screenshots.
きましょう。まず、
Oh,
ウェポン
there he
シリ
is.
ーズね。
So yeah, when it comes to weapon series, you can't forget this
当然欠か
person.
せない
True,
This
true.
pe-
この人。
this guy, this character is
I forgot his name
the
though.
so-called the
そこに
staple
ですよ。
that will appear in every single
この人が加わ
weapon
った
series
ら
that goes
どう
throughout
なるのか。
Final Fantasy XIV.
そうそう。
I've only done one of them.
Second screenshot will be as you are
Yes.
looking at the screen right now.
強い。
Oh, that's exciting.
Strong.
Big
Strong.
difference from the Boja one, right?
There are
Someone was
comments
super
that say,
serious.
you know, this Godbird guy should be wearing clothes already, but you know, it's not gonna be the fun, isn't it?
This one's good. I like the idea of this one being a lot of fun because the other one was
Is this going to
very,
be the
very
weapon
serious. So
that
it'd be nice
is
to learn,
coming from the generations of
Switch up.
material? Or is it going to be entirely something else?
especially after how serious Endwalker was.
YouTube でもゲロルともういいって
I'm excited for that.
この
Twice the Hildebrand.
強い
Well, twice the Mandible, I guess.
And the strongest goldsmith together. Well, it has to be good, isn't it?
そうなんですよ。最強の鍛冶師と最強の
I imagine
賞金師が交わる
Hildebrand's probably not too budgeted.
ワンダービルウェポンになるっていう理屈的にはあってそうじゃん。
But twice the
strongest
Mandible.
blacksmith work with the strongest goldsmith together and produces the strongest mandible weapons. Well, it's plausible. It's possible. Definitely possible.
さあ
But we just have to wait and see.
こんなね
Such a crazy idea, and I
どうなっていくか
adore
だ
it.
から6.25
We
から
will be wondering what this is going to happen.
ください
Yeah.
まだね
So
あの
hopefully,
ヒルディブランドシリーズやっ
look,
てないんだよ
hopefully you guys are going to look forward to it. See what's going to happen in patch 6.
Oh, I am
2.5.
very much looking forward to
はい
it.
読み物として楽しんでいただけると
If there is a
Temper your
grind,
expectations and look forward to it.
it'll be a lot easier doing the grind knowing I got this to look forward to after
So
it.
yeah, if you haven't touched the Hildebrand
では
quest yet, you have until patch 6.25 to do so.
はい新たな
Ooh, new tribal.
Next will be the new tribal quest for patch 6.25.
So again, by the bunnies.
となります今回はですね
Maybe.
こ
This
ちら
time, it will be
オミクロン族
Ooh.
the Omicrons.
で
Interesting.
向けのウエストとなって
And
I guess
it
that'll be
will
the
going to
cafe area then.
center around gathering for disciples of the land.
I find that a bit weird though, because they're not really real, are they? Aren't they made
So
up?
this
Like made
is
up?
going to destroy everyone's expectations
こ
up to
ち
this
らも
point.
ですね
I feel like a lot of people were
Oh, there
expecting
will be
that.
another screenshot prepared for this.
Yeah, I think people had
Ah,
figured that out from from this.
ここみたいな
I remember reading
So
about
this
it.
place is made just for that, isn't it?
さあウルティマトゥーレで一体どんな話がね
So we are going to wonder what's going to happen to Ultima 2.
They look interesting.
確かにね。
Ooh, maybe Omega will show up here too,
If you look
Since
at
we
the
didn't bring him in.
closely,
for some reason.
you get to see
皆さん後で
something there.
ご覧いた
Do we get the armor?
レポリ
I
Is
wondered
this how we
if you
get the
guys
armor?
noticed?
そうです
That'll
ね
be oh wait, I play a fucking bunny dude, don't I? I won't be able to use that. I won't be able to use the helmet, which is what makes it.
存続を求める声が非常に
Oh, the mount in the background.
Apparently, Yoshipi is acknowledging that Tweeting Wei, the sensation that happened a few weeks ago where Tweeting Wei hijacked one of the Final Fantasy XIV accounts. It's created quite well, quite a
こ
buzz.
れは楽しみです。
結構
Yeah.
深い話
So hopefully we
If you
get
were
that.
expecting Loporis,
Assume we get that.
unfortunately, you guys have already
ま
experienced
あ
it prior
ね
beforehand.
絶
So,
望全てにおいて絶望した場所ですから
so this is a
Could be a
place
pet,
where,
maybe.
where
絶望から生み出された
players have experienced all kinds of despair.
ますよ
So, what kind of story that will entail from this Ultima 2?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Please look
interested
forward
in.
to the release of the content.
Because are the Omicrons not real? The ones that are there?
Then-
Isn't everything in
Next,
Ultima
coming
Full
next.
not real?
新たな
Technically.
インスタンスダンジョン
New instance dungeon,
まあ
as usual.
当然
That was my assumption anyway.
This is a given.
That's what I took away from that.
で
This is going to be from the main story, as usual.
いうわけで
Accessible
almost
through
certainly
the
wrong.
main story. So, the new dungeon name will be A Fell Court of Troya.
Okay.
いや
That means nothing to me. Don't know what that means.
確かにワード気になる
I'm assuming it'll be in the void.
It's going to be a castle? What? What's going to be exactly?
ね。
Xeno says dude looked like he was in some sort of bricky area that could be a castle.
Yeah, as a
Just-
student from the
that's a
Moroccan
very
side,
big
we will
reach.
explore all these kind of places.
どうなるやら
But
トロイアという単語に反応されてる方が。
Apparently, there are plenty of stream viewers reacted to the word Troya.
さあ
They felt
じゃ
familiar.
あスクリーンショットをですね、2枚だけご用意しておりますので、
mm,
So we are preparing, we prepared some screenshots, so we are going to show it.
right, that looks similar to what the Xeno's character was in.
これを出す。ハウケ
Is this
綺
Haoke
麗になったハウケ。
Yoshipi did actually hesitate
Yeah,
to see
void.
whether this actually,
Makes
the
sense.
screenshot they're supposed to show.
ほい
And the second one is, yeah, as you are looking at the screen right now,
青桁じゃなかった
it's not Haoke manner apparently.
Kind of reminds me of the Alliance raid a little bit.
Reading the chat comments saying, my
But like a
house?
shadowy
Is it my
version.
house?
吉田の家。
Is it Yoshida's house?
家に住
Oh,
む
I
アク
see.
セス
So that's how that's what it is.
暗いだろう。そう
It's a bit too dark to be my house.
おーってずっとなって
Go, 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 go,
な
go.
ってますねこれ
Yeah.
They didn't mention a zone for the relic weapon, did they? I
Well,
wonder if they're gonna add one in a new zone
definitely
in the
not.
void
Hmm.
異界
for the MSQ, maybe.
GM 住んでそう。
ああまあまあま
I know they've not done it
Apparently,
before,
this
but
seems to be, it looks like a place where GMs will stay in this particular time.
あ異界に住んでもって言われても
I could see
Yeah,
that.
it's possible. It can be possible for the GMs to
モル
stay
ディ
there.
オン監獄だったじゃないですか。
世界観は
The Mordian Gao. Yeah.
監獄だったじゃん。さあ、そして、
I feel like they wouldn't announce that. That was the thing, though, right? That'd be a really cool
Next
surprise for
will
people.
be a Neo
ご
Trials.
ざいます。
Ooh. Assume this will be a secret.
And for that, there will,
内緒でご
unfortunately, it's
まあ
going to be
ノーマル
secret.
と、いわゆる
Yeah.
高難度の曲も、実装
Story stuff.
になりますが
There will
こちら
be
は
both
シー
modes,
クレットと
normal and
Yeah, I know
stream,
you.
but for now, we will have to make it secret.
なんかこうね、ハテナなのに
It make it a sense.
だろうとか
Apparently, some
Garo.
comments already said it's expected, or is it going to be Garo and all that? But apparently, no, there's
Mm.
not going to be that.
Hmm. Assume it'll be something voidy, right?
The number of those question marks isn't related to the actual name. This will be a secret until it's
これ文
released.
字数関係あったんですか
They usually have one in in the point two.
なんとなくの長さしか見てない
はい。
Trying to think. Did Shadow bring us?
リブラン
What happened in point two?
Is it
I
going to
thought they
be
usually let them in the
Hildebrand?
point three. I'm not sure.
どうなりますかね。はい、ちょっとここは、
はい
公開まで、設定。
For now, we are going to make it secret until it's ready to be released.
Suppose it's all going to be different this time around, though, isn't it? Because we're not going to be leading up to the point three, which is the end, technical, like the
Next will
expansion.
be-
Because Endwalker was the end of
There will
Endwalker.
be more comics for
新た
upcoming.
なレイドダ
お
ウン
えー
で
ま
Now,
だ
new
です
raids.
バンマデンパンデモニウム第2弾
Looking
The
forward to
second
some more
will
of
be
this.
Abyssal.
煉獄編
In Japanese, it's called Rengoku
パ
Hen.
ンデモニウム形式煉獄
Rangoku
編
Gan.
が実装と
Yes.
なります。
Yes.
So the Rengoku Hen will
Rengoku
be
Gen.
implemented starting 6.2. For
セリフが
the localized title will be Pandemonium Episodes.
出てきます
Sounds cool. Foreboding, appropriately so.
でですね、
はい
ちょっと霊式に関して、
So regarding
ぜひちょっと
Savage,
皆さんにご協力をお願いしたい。
he
Hmm.
has something that requires the cooperation of all
まあ
players.
ファイナルファンタジ
うん
ー申請してから9年、
Sure, that'll be
7
fun.
年、10年目で、だいぶそのコンテンツの、なんだろう、リリースこうタイミング、公開タイミングみたいなのって、まあ、だいぶ定まってはきてたんですけど、
はい
It's been 9 years since
Yes,
FF Final Fantasy started, 14 started, and the content release timings has always been the same. And since next year is going to be the 10th year anniversary for the game,
分けられないもんだと。
and Savage will release at the same day, and there were many voices asking that we should be separating the release date for normal and
今
Savage.
うん
霊式の
So
です
this time,
ね、
For
公開
Savage,
を、パッチ6.2から一周
So
Okay.
for 6.2, as a test case, Savage Raid will be released 1 week after patch 6.2 release.
I mean,
So for
I don't
those
know.
people
I don't know.
who
There's a
wants
thing people want on it. They do.
read the
Cool.
story and experience the story, they wanted to read the story first, then raid.
そのレイドやる人たちが
Alrighty.
And of course, there are some raid members as well as raiders from the world first team.
I'm not a raider, so I'm there for the story.
And for this group, they do feel that it's suffocating because they need to renew their skill rotation due to the job balances and all that.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
And we have actually did simulation based on that
ずらすことに対しての対応を始めてし
I
ま
mean,
う
if that's
と
what raiders want.
後戻りが今度できなくなっちゃうので
And if they
It's only a
actually
week.
started
一周ず
to
らして公開させていただいた
if
上
they
で
actually want to
賛否がやっぱりあ
delay
る
the
ので
release by 1 week, they cannot actually roll it back anymore
いや
because of
ずら
this.
すで大丈夫だったよというお声が非常に多ければそれに合わせてさらに次のレイドもに向けていろんな
So if we are actually to move forward by releasing the releasing the raid by 1 week, then in the future the whole release process will be the same as well.
Be interesting.
So they are going
It's
to
worth
do the
testing
test
it,
case
yeah.
first by
See how people take to it.
the raids 1 week, and if
なので
there's
今回
any
は
feedback saying that this isn't the one that they
そう
wanted,
ですね
then you may
この
actually send the
落ち着いてや
feedback
れ
to
て
the forums and
毎
see how
週
they
逆
go.
にノーマル楽しめて
It does seem like the kind of thing that
In
not
other words,
everyone's
this
going to be
change is
agreed
going
on.
to influence the raiders
これに
as
合わ
well
せ
as
て
those
全
who
体
wants
調
to
整さ
enjoy
ら
the
に
raid.
先のパッチでやっていこうと思うので
But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
やらない
This
ことには
is not my wheelhouse.
ということを決断したのでちょっと今回
And
は
since we have decided to, on this particular release
で
date delay, then we will have to
1枚
commit
だ
to
け
it.
のスクリーン
So there will be one screenshot
Ooh.
coming up.
です。
How they're green and sticky.
わからんわからん
緑。
I mean, it looks like pandemonium.
What's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know anything at all.
It looks in line with the rest of it. I wonder if that'll be some kind of spider boss.
今日ちょうど一層から
It's got a web vibe to it, hasn't it? It's gonna be something gooey anyway. Gunky.
So he's already Yoshi P is already finished his checkings on the balance for the raid today. It was interesting.
Nice.
新しいまた君
It was fun.
ございます
So who knows what's going to happen
Who
in
knows?
the actual release?
Who knows indeed. Daddy and Daddy.
では続いてです、新たな
Next will be a new
現東熱戦が
Unreal trial.
Again, not my wheelhouse.
こちらは
I don't know.
Now the next one will
ついにこの人が
be
登場いたします。現魔人
He has a lot of arms.
Sephiroth as a new Unreal trial for 6.2.
はい。
まあ
Maybe one day I shall get
this
into the more
whole thing was different.
complicated rating.
The adjustment for this Unreal trial was already complete. It's already complete. But it's
ちょっと
really
いくらなんで
difficult.
も今のなんだろうバトルコンテンツルールにそぐわないあれ
Interesting.
ギミックある
I don't actually know
ターゲットされた人に
what the Unreal, what separates the Unreal Trials from everything else,
が入ってたりしてたんですよ当時
like from extremes.
So he's commenting about one of the mechanics. It's called Earthshaker.
で
Are they just
The
harder?
Earthshaker that has what they call it, the damage that will receive if you are too near to the marker. And the further you are, the lesser damage you get.
Right.
There will be some changes to the
影
mechanic.
響で溶けたりしてて
Is this going to be in general or just this
いや
one
でもなん
fight?
か当時のやっぱり
Yeah, there used to be a proximity damage in that, but apparently this mechanic is going to be removed.
まあいいんじゃないかって
The melts, the tanks are also melting during the phase, and therefore a lot of adjustments were needed.
そう当初の僕は大変でしたもんね。
Yeah, and commenting that
Interesting.
this was actually a very hard trial when it was first released
そう
back
セフィロト
during
の
episode
右
as
に
well.
左っていう
I'll take your word for it, sir.
セフィロトの向きによって変わりますよねみたいな
Have I not done
セフィロ
the
セフィロ
original?
トに向かって右ですか左ですかいやセフィロトの右足ですみたいなでもそれタンクによって左右入れ替えいやだから右足ですみたいな
I guess not,
右足は
maybe?
常に右足だろうっていう会話が。
そうね。ここ
I
は
must have done.
This is going the rounds back a lot of memories where people arguing about which is actually the left, which is
Whoops,
actually right.
daisy.
Is it going to be
右左
Sephiroth's left
絶対
or
セフィロ
Sephiroth's
トに
right,
関
or
係
is
な
it
く
actually the
て
player's
という
left or
場合
player's
と
right when it comes to resolving one of the mechanics for Sephiroth?
懐かしいですよね。
But yeah, it was kind of a nostalgia. Sort of a nostalgia.
うん。そうなんです。
Containment Bay
ということはね、
S1T7.
新シリーズ始まっていくのかしらという。
So the next Unreal will revolve around the three.
That doesn't
will revolve around.
doesn't root bells. I went through so much content in one go that all kind of melded into one, I guess.
ジョブ調整っていうのも
Interesting. Job
Of
adjustment.
course, there will be job adjustments coming up.
PVE の調整
First of all, there will be PvE adjustments.
PVP に
Alright.
関わる調整も行っています。
This will involve both PvE and PvP.
まあ
I'm more interested in the PvP ones, to be honest. I don't know what the PvE balance is like.
PvP wise, it will be involved around matching for crystal
できるだけ
conflict
ガチな試合がしたいとか、
All I know is make Sage
to
better.
answer the requests of people who wanted the actual hardcore.
I want to play it a little more, but it scares me a bit.
So there will be adjustments to that.
やれなくするようにしたりっていうのちょっとその辺はいろいろ手もシステム的にも手は入れますので、
In PvP, we are trying to adjust the matching for crystal conflict as well, so that the pre-discussed
で
is
です
doing
ね
at the same time
次
won't
に
so
パ
easily
ッ
anymore.
チ6.2で
Okay.
有志と先生術師のまあ大幅改修を予定してます
There will be very, very
ま
major.
あやっぱり前回のその皆さんのまあ反応を見てですね、見送ることにしました。次。
Oh, apparently, previously
Hi.
Yoshi P talked about there will be
まあ
major,
やっぱ根底からの
major
大改
events
修
for
はまあ拡張のタイミングの
Dragoon
方が
and
まあいい
Astrologian.
のかなと。
But apparently it has been postponed
Hi.
because many people were making noise
さす
about
が
it.
に変更点が多すぎて
Oh, okay.
はい
Did people not like the changes?
伝わりにくいところもあるし
Or the proposed ones.
Because there are a lot of disconnection between the dev team and the players, and they want to actually look into it properly.
やります
Alright.
And it
That's good to
feels
hear.
って
that-
ことじゃないので
It feels that they need to properly understand what the players are trying to look for when it comes to adjustments. This is why they are
こう言
postponing.
えば言ったじ
But
ゃん
please don't comment that they never played the job because they actually do play the job. They actually do play the job.
I imagine they do, yeah. They seem like they do.
まあやっぱちょっとあん
But,
まりやるべきじゃないのかなとは
That's good to know,
But there
though.
are some
で
adjustments that I
そ
felt
れ
that
に
this
付
is
随
not
してですね今後
appropriate to implement.
パッチノート、まあサーバーがダウンしてからパッチノートとは別に
Imagine
ジ
imagine
ョブ調整の
actually taking feedback on
ちゃんと
board.
テキストでお伝え
Intentions
してい
behind
こ
the
うと
Insane.
job adjustments will be explained. This is going to work separately from the patch notes. This is
Okay.
according to Yoshi P.
その
That would make sense.
テキストなので
Which means they are going to create a
喋り漏らしがないとか
section that
あの
explains
ならない
why
ように
these particular changes on the job was
こ
done.
こは
Does make it a sense.
状態にしてですね、そちらをしっかりご覧いただく
This will be
よ
in
うに
written
しよ
form.
うかなと。まあ
And
もちろんその意図を公開したとしてもいやいや違うそこじゃない
we'll
ってい
be
うことは
mentioning
まあある
everything
とは
that they need to know
思うん
what
です
is
け
to
ど
come
ねただ意図が
and
わ
what
からない
has
ま
been
まなのが
changed
辛
for
いって
the
いう
job.
コメントを非常に
Okay.
前回たくさんいただいたのでそこをちゃんと
Since we received a
あの
lot of
公開して
voice
いこうかな
stating it was really
あのこう
disconnected,
が高まった方
where
が
the development's
いいよねという
adjustment
こと
doesn't
で
feel that
改めて
is
これに
answering to
挑戦してい
what
きましょう
the players have been asking for.
はい
So they are going to
で
address
さら
it
に
by
ですね
coming up
バトルシ
with
ステ
coming
ム
with the
まあこれ
solution.
ちょっと侍の調整とかやる前にやれよ
I mean, it's good
まあ
to
おっしゃられるのはごもっともだと
So
思
for
うん
those
で
who
すけ
say
ど次のスライド
very much appreciate it.
クリティ
people will
カ
say
ル
that
とダイレクトヒットのシステムの調整を
you should have actually done
86.2
this
で
way before the samurai
行う
adjustment.
予定
Yeah,
です
actually it's true. Yoshi P has acknowledged his mistake.
Okay.
And following on will be critical and direct hit adjustments.
Good to hear, dude.
Detailing about the changes for the critical and direct hit adjustments.
確率アップみたいなシナジーをもらったときに、まあ意味ないじゃん。
Okay.
This is actually to address the issue with samurai and dance partner.
いきますので、
I haven't heard about this.
今まだ
Didn't know this was a thing.
なので、どういう調整
And currently they are looking to adjust it, but still, since this is halfway through, they can't really come up with the details for you yet. So to detail this, you will have to wait for part 2 of this particular POL for them to give you more details about the changes.
Find out more on the next PLL.
So yeah, please wait for a while. Please wait for a bit
で、
until part 2 of patch 6.2 PLL feature,
はい、じゃあ
where they will explain this to you in detail.
はい、で、
Next will be
PVP 関
PVP
連の
updates.
アップデートです。はい。パッチ
There you
6.2
go from me, Yoshi.
で、まず PVP シリーズの2が始まります。
Okay.
今、シリーズ1
So
やって
currently we are
もうみんな多
still
分
at PvP Series 1.
Does that mean I'm back to no
We'll
rank?
see
報
the
酬一新して、
PvP
That's quite
Series
proud of my
Part 2
gold.
スター
begins.
トしますので、よろしくお願いします。
Like 3 days work.
で
That's
同
quite
時に
proud of my
クリ
gold.
スタルコンフリクトに関してはシーズン3がパッチ 6.2 と
So
同時
we,
に
along with
開幕となります。
the beginning
で
of
シーズン
PvP
2は
Series Part 2,
さっき
the Season 3 of Crystalline Conflict will begin.
はい、7月5日
We may do some of that.
開幕
Maybe.
Season 2 will
ちょっ
begin
とね、
Tuesday,
どうしても
July 5 with
マッ
the
チング
release
シス
of
テ
patch
ムの調整とかっていうと
6.1.
ころってコース
まあ
で QA が
Although I got installed on PlayStation at the minute, I don't know if that's a good
So the
idea.
reason why they release around this period is because it takes a lot of main days and a lot of costs to make this happen, and they can't really make this release on time, so which is why they chose this release to begin with.
Alrighty.
And with 6.2, we'll see the return of rivalry.
I don't think I ever tried Rival Wings. Might be worth a bash. Yeah, I'm not sure how good PvP would be on a controller. Maybe it'd be alright.
そして、はい、
Please look forward to it.
さらに
Maybe.
And furthermore,
続いていきましょう。メインクエストの開始
Oh, like the trust and
so
stuff.
the next will be the continued improvements to main scenario quests.
Nice,
ま
nice.
ず、一番でかいのはメインクエストで、訪れるダンジョンのコンテンツサポーター
The
対応
major one will be the duty support, which is going to be added for
で、
the
はい、
following
今回
content.
対応するのが、こちらの5
Heaven's
段
Word
The
this
next
time,
will be
right?
addressed Snowcloak,
スノーク
the
ロー
Keeper
ク、
of the
木
Lake,
役の塔、
Som Owl,
ソ
the
ーバ
Airy,
ル、
and
ア
the
ボン
Worm.
ゼアリー、そして、シュガルド強行長。ちょっと、
That's not all of them, right?
この中途半端さはなんだって言われると返す言葉がないんですけど
I don't remember what they said the base was
He
gonna be.
apologizes because this feels very half-hearted, like what is this selection of the dungeons? He has no excuses for it, but this is currently the dungeons that will
スクリーンショッ
be
ト
supported for now.
どこの
So
ダン
please
ジョン
Alrighty.
かはあれですけどスクリーンショットをお持ちしております
So there will be a few screenshots coming up.
Hey, look who's there.
こんな
これは
Oh wow, this.
盛り上がるやつ。
Oh, this is going to make people wall in excitement.
Get to team up with Yazel,
い
huh?
よいよこういう世代に来たわけです。
One day they need to take that system and make it sort of like its own separate thing where you can sort of use everyone that's available and level them up separately.
これは言っとかない
So like you could use your sail in
そうですね
The Dungeon and Endwalker, where Yazel shows up as Shiva. Like it's not canon, but it'd be fun. Good fun little side thing to work on. Just have some fun.
多いですよね。
なのでもうぜひ思い入れもあるので対応
So the people who work on this particular duty support used to be Warriors of Light,
こういう風にな
the
ったら
players who have memories of this particular content. So they
Okay.
are going to work on the content based on the memories that they have at the
ここは
time.
ねすごくチームとしても
That's good to know.
どんどん
I would hope
さ
so.
らに上がってはいるんですけど
The scale is going to get bigger, and of course, this is going to get harder and harder. But
手が届
they
く
will be undertaking this challenge to make sure that the experience is going to be enjoyable one for the players.
さ
Alrighty.
らにですね、メインクエストの回収がまだ続いて
That's cool.
ありまして、一部のコンテンツの
And
ソロ
changes and additions
ク
will
エ
be
ストバト
enjoyable
ル
to the
か
company. Yep.
リットアティンさん
Now
が
So
solo
following-
quest battle.
ね、8人コンテンツじゃなくて、
Will be
コ
a
ー
solo
ト
quest
シュガルド
battle.
防衛戦を
The
ソ
steps
ロ
of
用に
faith
作り直しま
will
したの
be
で、
あらら。
changed to be a solo quest battle, like the change the one that's applied to Ritiati.
Hmm.
どうなりますや
イベントバトルに作り直しました。
はは
Yep,
Okay.
they are going to create it. They recreated
は。まあまあまあ。
Steps of
な
faith
って
as a solo battle.
ないかな。
Interesting. I mean, I've not
高まりそうだ
like I haven't done all the choice they did for the ARR stuff
なんか仕組みも
うん
どの
because I've not had reason to.
なんか
そうです。
Whenever I'm thinking like once they upgrade the graphics, I'd quite like to
おります。
New Game Plus it all.
さらにですね、
So
This
then I
has
would
been
try them.
recreated from the scratch.
But it'd be better to wait until they're all in, right?
全王の方です。全王モグルモグ。
ここじゃなくて全部。
Because then I'll do it and then I'll want to do it again after they fucking update the graphics.
So we have recreated Tom March as
あ
well.
の
This
Okay.
Tomash has
コン
been
テンツ
recreated
サ
from
ポーターでやっ
scratch.
ていくと、
はい
初めてのここ、
Alrighty.
まあ、8人コンテンツなんですよ。
ああ、そうか。全部一人でやれることになった結果。
なんかむずいんですよ。そう急にあいつ。
なるほどね。
なんか攻略ルールが結構むずいんで、
はあは
これいわゆるストーリー上のノーマルとして
うん
改めてもう完全に作り直しました。
あはあ。
Because
ニュアンスはちょっと残してはもちろんあるんですけど、
はい
サクッといける
if
ノーマルに
で
そうなんかむずいですよあれ。
Tomash
まあ確かに。
with the current
Nanka,
difficulty for
Nanka,
content
Nanka,
support,
Nanka,
it will be too hard for them to
Nanka.
handle. So they have to recreate everything from scratch because of this.
Ah, okay.
そうなんですよ。
That makes
And
sense.
yeah,
完全に
I wonder if they'll keep the original in there though for
so
people that want
because
it.
of the balance, they
I
need
do
to
think they
balance
should do
between
that.
players and
ベテランの引かせ
content support, so they will have
ど
to
れどれ
revamp
どんな
it.
もんだ
They
い
should have like a
って言う
separate
と
list in the duty finder
刺激すると思うんで
for the stuff that's been changed.
無理にね
So people that want to redo that
Please
stuff
don't
again.
be worried because there will be some because there will be elements of Tomash
穏やか
remaining.
なコンテンツ
It's just that they will have to rebalance the difficulty to make it feasible for the content supporter
コンテンツのエントリーモデル。
to get past the
Right.
particular trial.
面白い。
はい
Yeah, I feel like that would be the best way to do it, right?
The first 8-man trial
Instead of just taking the original out.
so we have to completely revamp it.
I say that, I never would. I don't think I'd ever bother doing the original line, but I imagine there are some people that won't be happy about it.
このブロック
You are free to wait for it to pop up in your
次のブロ
roulette.
ックやって
ここまでやって。
ではですねこっから
Now from
新た
now
な
on,
コンテンツバトルコンテンツの話をちょっと
はい
ご紹介
we will
し
be talking about the new battle content.
Cool.
新たなバトルコンテンツ
Yeah, battle content.
名前正式名称ですシリーズ名称なんですけどこちら
Oh, these things.
So
I forgot about
next,
these.
we will be discussing about the new battle content called Variant Dungeons, which is scheduled to be released for patch 6.25.
This was supposed to be like flexible group sizes, wasn't it? Like 1 to 3.
This will be the official name for the
じ
content.
ゃあまあ
Variant
何かというのを
So he's going to explain to you what is this.
Are they gonna change? They're gonna be what you call it?
First of
ディ
all,
ープダンジョンではないですディープダンジョンは
do note that this is not a deep dungeon.
作ってるんですけど
We are making a deep dungeon right now, but Variant Dungeon is not deep
Procedurally
dungeon.
generated. Is it gonna be that?
という名前で
Variable difficulty dungeons previously introduced as criterion
So
dungeons.
as previously introduced as Criterion Dungeons in the past PLL, they actually set up with the new Variant Dungeon.
Alright. It flows a bit better, I guess.
4人でカジュアルに遊べるコンテンツです。
Nice. I love that you can do it as one player.
で、マッチングするとき、
Because that's my vibe.
対応してるんですけど、マッチングするときはまあ4人でになります。
So this content can be played by one player. You can go solo or you can go up to 4 people in your party. The matching,
role
specific
restriction.
matching will be prepared for this.
新しい。
はい。
Interesting. I thought it was
There
gonna
will
be more
no
challenging.
role restrictions, jobs
ダンジョンに突入
and
して
job
いる
changes
攻略
are
に
permitted in the
突
dungeon
入し
itself.
ているそのパーティーの人
Oh, that's
数によ
cool.
ってですね
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like more an attempt at adding a smaller challenge
Do note that the enemy
content.
strength is determined by the party size.
2人デュオで
That makes
やりたいんだ
sense.
よっていう場合に
That was my
関しては
takeaway when they first mentioned it.
デュオとかに自動
So
I guess not.
the difficulty is determined by how many person in your party. If it's solo, it will be a solo
ワイワイというか少人数
based
まったり遊べ
difficulty.
ると
If
Nice.
it's for
I
duo,
do like that.
they will make the difficulty sync
特徴があ
to
ってです
duo.
ねダンジョン
I'm
内
tempted to say more of that, please, but
皆さんの行動によってです
I
ね
don't imagine people would be very happy about that. So I'll take what I
So
can get.
depending on the players' actions in the dungeon, the route may change.
Okay.
どのルー
That's what makes it variable
感じも
あ
あるんで
あ、なるほど。
最初
and replayable, I guess.
これはね
I wonder what loot it has.
まあちょっと今までのとは
The big question.
全然違います
Yeah, this is going to be a completely different content from the previous
まあ
from
扉があってどっから
previous
何回行く
content that
の
was
みたいな
released in
で
Final
さらに
Fantasy
その
XIV.
な選んだ中でも何やあったり
I'm intrigued.
え
Sounds neat.
あと何回やるとボスの
Again, I thought it was gonna be like more of a challengey thing, though.
So there will be other features as well, like boss
ま
mechanics will change
まあ
I
細かい
depending on the amount
もの
of
もねもちろんあるんで
numbers you cleared for this particular dungeon itself.
That makes sense. You can't have a stack if you just won, right?
So there are a lot more, but this is the first overview for now.
I was kind of looking forward to having
So
a
let's go to
solo
the second
challenge
そ
there.
のバリアントダンジョンっていうこれコンテンツシリーズ名なんですけど
Speaking
第
on
1弾
Variant Dungeons,
の舞台はシリアリ
Still,
ハー水道
the
there will be a theme for it.
Sildine
So the
Subterranean.
first variant dungeon will be the Silderhan
シカ
Subterranean.
みたいな
Alright.
これは結構好きな方はね
聞いた名前だけど。
はい。
That certainly does look like a
Very
subterranean.
hard.
え
dungeon?
I'll give
と
them
ある
that.
人物と一緒に
Explore the depths alongside a certain someone.
This
Who's that gonna
there
be?
will be a mini story where you're exploring this dungeon with a certain someone.
I didn't realize there'd be a story. That sounds neat.
さあどうなる
They won't tell you
That'll
who
be-
it is,
今
of
までね
course.
ダンジョン攻略ってこう
Probably won't be Gra, because he's doing the alliance.
ね
Maybe
案
Alice?
内人のよ
あーそうですねいますね
いるじゃないですか
She'd want to go on an adventure.
歩く
Stennin and you stroller are pretty heavy in
This
the MSQ.
NPC exploration will work somewhat similar like the 24-man dungeon, where you see the NPCs journeying ahead of you.
Ah, okay, yeah. Experience a different story depending on your chosen path. Ooh. Stories may be enjoyed via multiple playthroughs. I wonder if your first one's like your canon one then. Like the Old Republic style. That'd be neat.
So, depending on
まあだから一人で
your
気楽に
progression
こ
or
う
the
何周
actions
もや
you
って
took,
物語
you may experience a different
掘り下げて
story.
いこうっていう人も
I'm here for that. That sounds cool.
二人でも四人でも三人でも
Different paths that you chose may change the story as
に
well.
なってます
Do note that all stories may be enjoyed via
一人から
multiple
四人
playthroughs.
ですね
Nice.
This dungeon,
なの
yes,
でまあ
can be
そん
played
な
by
になんていうんだ
either
ろう
one people, you can go solo or you can go with
そ
four.
うことじゃないから
Alright.
一通りなんかあの
And
What's
this is
the loot?
definitely not a content for you to
ゆ
rush
っくりやっ
through.
ていこうかみたいな
Good.
感じでやって
Are encouraged to take time
Give me
and
fun.
have
I mean-
with this content.
I-
It's meant to be played again and again and again.
誰が
If you can play it on your own though,
あ
I mean,
誰と行くの
if, you know, four people want to go in and rush together.
いや
The stream chats
うまいか
are
もしれないね
I see no
trying to
issue.
guess who is the NPC that you'll be traveling with.
そう
Maybe Roman?
右の
But who
扉
knows?
だと思う
うん
どうか
Maybe Hildebrand's coming for this too.
Enacting
Yeah,
Roban's roleplay.
そうか
Right,
ワン
man.
かもしれない
Maybe you might be exploring this with Roban. You might be
ちょっと
exploring this with someone else.
一枚だけ
Who knows? There will be a few screenshots for that too.
Ooh, that looks nice. Raban was not the first thought that came to mind. It just looked like it's in the desert
You see
though.
the skies.
So maybe.
It's not going to be completely underground.
いっぱいあるしまあ隠しルートみたいなのもあるから
There are also
実はね
some hidden
取材
routes.
するような場所もねご用意しているので
一人で行けるのありがた
そ
いう
ですねぜひゆっくりこういろんなことを
So,
Very intriguing.
as already
だ
repeated
からまあシナリー水道っていうとちょっとばっかりかなって
This is
なりがちなん
definitely
ですけ
a
ど
long-term
ちゃんと変化
content,
っていうの
so
に
you
か
are
けた場所
encouraged to explore this slowly.
Alright,
Don't rush
I
it.
like it.
Please take your time and enjoy this.
I like the sound of that.
アデレジルートっていうコメントも
ありま
Uh,
す
there are
分
some
割されている
comments saying that Adeliji route, you know, Adeliji spoilers was being cut, sliced into half. That maybe might be a reference to it.
We could take half of him with us.
今後バリアントダンジョンはあの
I don't know which half, but
あの
Of course,
6.X シリーズ中も
this is not going to be implemented at every patch, but they do plan on implementing more and more variant dungeons.
シリーズです今回
Yeah, I imagine
じゃない
we'll
There
see
will be
how it pans
implementing
out.
more variant dungeons in the future
だから仕組
but
み
of course
として
not
作った
for every patch.
Yeah.
まあなんかカジュアル向けの、少
Cool.
人数バトルコンテンツでお話がくっついてる。
More continuing content's always good.
Hopefully, they
そ
will hope
して
to
ですね
expand more
さ
better
らに
content for the players
新たな
who
バ
want
ト
to
ルコ
form.
ンテンツがございます。
Another, there will be one more new battle content coming up.
Oh.
アナザーダンジョン。
Another path, Criterion
もうな
Dungeons.
んか AD
So there are still Criterion dungeons? I'm confused.
忙しい。こちらもパッチ
Yeah,
6.25 で、
that will make players busy on trying to come up short forms for the dungeons. It's
Yeah,
gonna
名前つける
be
の
A,
困
B,
って
A,
る
B,
我々も
D, G, you know, CD.
英語だとこっちに暗いて
And so on.
さあ、じゃあこれは何かと申しますと、
So, what is this going to be?
まず、
That's a good question. What is this going to be?
挑戦する高難度コンテンツ。
Plenty high
This
difficulty
is,
challenge for 4
uh,
player.
Criterion Dungeon
がお話も
that is made for level 90 high difficulty challenge for 4 player parties.
向けですよ
Okay.
っていうコンテンツなんですけ
So
ど
this is basically what they announced, except it's
アナ
just
ザー
アナザ
まあ
this one's 4 player
ーなるほど
さらにアナザー
instead of 1 to 4.
高
Okay.
難度に振り切ってます。で、
So,
Criterion dungeons are
adding
still
with the
Criterion
one that was
dungeons, really.
introduced previously, another path Criterion Dungeon is the one that is geared towards 4-player parties,
ヒーラー1、
high
TPS2
difficulty
の
for
まあ
level
いつも
90
の
players.
ダンジョン構成ですね。
For this another path, role
で
is
えー
static. It must be
見
comprised
た
of
目
one
は
tank,
こ
one
の
healer,
バ
and 2
リアント
DPS.
ダンジョンに似てますが、構造とか敵の強さは別物です。
なるほど。
まあリソースはうまく
Okay. So it's like the mythic
新しい
version.
ものなのをちゃんと作りましょうと。でルートは固定で
Alright.
NPC は同行しません。
なるほど。
我が輩では太刀打ちできない。
So there will be allocating costs, appropriate costs for this to make sure that this content is done
さら
appropriately.
に概要を続くんですが、
The rest is what you read in the slide.
こちらです。異
So
分
on the
シラデ
second
ィハ
overview,
水道と異分シラディハ水道霊式の2つあります。
there will be two another
なの
path
でバリア
Criterion
ントダン
Dungeons.
ジョンが
First will be
もう
another Siddharth
アナザー
Subterrane
ダンジョンの、
and another
1個目
Siddharth
が
Savage as well?
もう
Savage.
1個が霊式みたい
なる
な
ほどね。
イメージで、
So there's a savage version for it.
Mm. Interesting.
はい。で、異分の時点でもうそもそも
はい
難易度はかなり高くて、
あ
異分霊式はさらに
なるほどね。
さらに難しいチャレンジ
Okay.
となってくるます。
So by
で
going to the
絶
savage
対いけるか
version,
どうか
the
って大事なんです
enemies
け
and
ど
bosses in the dungeon is getting going to be really, really strong,
なんか
stronger than the normal
Yeah.
version.
ま
Alright.
あ相当難しくはしてる。で
So
まあこれ
we
ね、か
have
ねて
made
から
it to be
特
very
に
difficult
海
for
外
this
の
dungeon.
方から、
Wonder what the trash is gonna be like.
人数
言われてき
Yeah,
ます
this
ね
is actually a content implemented based on the request of many players from overseas.
もう
They wanted more
言われて
context
きたんじゃないかなっていう。
Yeah, since there were many voices about it, yeah, we
ま
are
あ、
attempting
随分
to.
こういろんな
We are
タイプ
taking
の
a challenge on this, making this
作
content.
ってきたので、
うん
今回4人用もそういう。
So finally,
That is something people wanted.
there are many
では、
high-end
ちょっ
contents
と
for
異分シラディハ水道の
high amount of
特徴を
members,
ちょっ
but
とご紹介します。
finally we get a content for 4 person instead.
4人未満で申請した場合はマッチングございます。こちらね。
はい。
まあマッチングで挑戦でき
So you
る。
can
So
matchmake for
another,
normal.
で
3D House Subterrane.
特徴的なのがです
So
ね、
parties of
通
fewer
常
than
の
4
蘇生
players
が使え
supplemented
ませ
via
ん。
matching.
その
So
代わ
on
り
the
ですね、
second point
回
is
数
as
制限
listed
付き
in
の蘇生アクションを
the
蘇生
Mm.
アクションとして各
slide.
メンバーに
Normal methods of resurrection are prohibited, but each
じゃ
player
ない
are
と
is granted a
ヒーラーが
limited
死んだ
number
ら
of
終わる
reroll
やん
actions.
っていう
That's an
ことに
interesting
なっちゃ
choice.
うので
I feel like one thing people seem to like a lot about this game is that you can just
手段を持ってます。
keep on resurrecting, even though there's punishments to it.
形でバランスを取ることにしまし
So
た。
it'll be interesting to
Although
see how
there are
that's taken.
no way for you to use resurrection or raise in
そうこの方がね
in the dungeon,
ー
there will be methods
負担が
for
ね
every single
均等になる
class
ので
for them to utilize in the dungeon.
しております。
Like
で
maybe Phoenix style.
あとほら、
Mm.
ジョブ構成によって蘇生手段が多い、少ないが出ちゃうと思う
うん
ので、
interesting.
それをなくしてバランス取るためという形を。で、
So depending on the job, there may be a lot of methods, a lot of methods for them to resurrect.
あ、そうですね。
Another.
ダンジョンなので、
So they completely disabled resurrection for this particular dungeon and go with the route where everyone can,
で、
where everyone that
異
has
分知ら
their
り
own
が
method
水道
enjoys
は
resurrect.
It'll
be interesting to see how that pans out.
復活しませんよ。
これは、
So the rest will be defeated enemies do not revive after party kill.
I mean,
うん
they usually don't anyway, right?
じゃあ続いて
Good to hear nonetheless.
霊式の特徴をちょっとお話します。
So we are moving on to look at the savage
こ
version
ちらは
of
ですね
this particular
マッチン
Criterion
グ
dungeon.
がございません。
Mm.
4人パーティーでのみ
なるほど
申請してください。
So do note that this is only applicable for free-form parties of
蘇生手
4.
段など一切ございません。
Makes sense.
全くない。
All methods of resurrection are prohibited. If you die, that's it.
Mm.
だからまあその
Mm.
Well,
で、ああボルボルってなったら
うん
3人で
I don't know about that.
まあどこまで進むかみたいな。で、
Sounds quite frustrating.
してしまった。
はい。
ワイプした。ワイプした。
Although this content isn't really
一度
made for someone like me, so I don't know.
あら不思議。全部復活してございます。
so if you wipe even once, and if you resurrect, and you retry the dungeon
そう
again,
いうのは許さん。
all enemies will be revived.
一定時間内にしかも攻略しないと敵が超強化されます。だからこっちはもうより制限時間って感じです。
あ、そういうこと。
And if you don't beat the whole thing
Yeah,
within a
that's
certain amount of time, oh, what a surprise! All enemies will be
な
buffed.
るほど。
なのでこうじわじわ進めていける。
It has become much stronger if not defeated within it. Oh
言って
god.
る
So this will be the
Mm.
overview for
Mm.
another 3D subterranes.
That's too much like mythic to me.
Hopefully you are prepared for it.
なので、まあ今回はそのバリアントダンジョン、それからアナザーダンジョンを通じて、
はい。
Doesn't sound like that's up my street.
それぞれ楽しんでもらう。まあもちろんね全部やっていただけると嬉しいんですけ
The
ど。
normal.
So,
Well, I'm not sure if the normal sounds interesting or not though, because you've got the. I'm not sure if there's any point in having the normal
And
version.
of course, we are really appreciate it if you would like to challenge our mods.
バリアントダンジョ
When
ン。
there's like the story
Okay,
version
so if
anyway,
you're
right?
interested in trying to everything, please go ahead.
はい。
We welcome you to do so.
いや、新ジャンルが増えるのは楽しみですね。
うん。
I mean, yeah, it's worth a try.
しかし、
But yeah, I don't see the point in having the normal one if you've got the casual one instead.
もうないんじゃないか。
It's good to have a lot of variety of dungeons.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been looking around. Yoshibi has been looking around the stream chat and saw that people are using
ま
the
あまあ
word
でも
kisu.
いいんですよ。せっかく今回というか今
Bit interesting.
いろんな
I'm sure some people get a kick out of it.
難易度用意できてるんで、
うん
まあやっぱり自分の
I don't see me doing it.
に合ったコンテンツをチ
Uh,
ョイスして遊んでいただけると
Because then if you die,
So-
right,
お話好きなので
Allow-
バリアント
everyone's gonna be
Final
pissed off with
Fantasy
you.
14 to get even more amount of
エオル
better
セア
content,
にますます詳しくなれたりします
and players will get to choose what kind of content they
And I
want
just
to
I don't
focus
like stuff that has a time limit on it.
はい公開と
Full stop.
on.
It
And
always
there will
bugs
be
me.
more
ありがとうございます。
content. There will be
Although I guess it
eventually
doesn't matter in
videos
group content because you're expected to go as fast as possible anyway.
後半もまだまだござい
So
ます
this ends the
が
first half
こ
of
こで一
the
旦休憩を取らせていただきたいと思います。
Cool,
we will
cool.
be having
後半
breaks,
お話しします
and after the break, we'll be going to the second half of the PLL.
はい
Lovely jubbly.
はい
うん
今日は休憩はですね、15分
I'm looking forward to seeing some of this island stuff.
So we are going to have 15 minutes break
9時
for this.
10分はい。
The later half will be
はい
at
と思います
Japan Standard Time, 9:10 p.m.
いやちゃんと
Alrighty.
休憩できる休憩
Damn, they're doing this early, aren't
There will
they?
be
Bless them.
a video of
本
Primus,
日の休憩
for, a video for the Primus concert.
もうそう
That was actually conducted 1 month ago.
なのでそちらからの思い出動画、
Yeah, it's a
Interesting.
viewback movie.
思い出動画をご紹介した後に、
おう
先日、公式 YouTube チャンネルで公開しました、フローとクローズ・イン・ザ・ディスタンスの2つの MV、
うん
So, so they will also play Flow and Close on the Distance official MV that was released a few months
なんと
ago.
か休憩も
何ごめん長さんなトータル
3本で、
Very nice, very nice.
So with 3 videos,
だから、
the total amount of duration will be somewhere around 12 minutes long.
Alright.
So you should be able to
9時
enjoy the break
集合です。
while you watch the videos.
Good to know, good to know.
So yeah, entering
Have
the
a
break
nice
time.
break.
See you later.
Yeah, this dungeons, I'm not sure if I see a need to have a normal mode. Because I know, like, the story, the casual version of it is not one linear route, right? You get to pick which way you go, and it changes each time. I get that. It's still the same dungeon though, right? I get that the bosses are different, and they all do different stuff. I understand that. I still don't think it's necessary. Also, I'm intrigued to see how this fits into sort of the loot situation, because presumably there's a Savage version that's gonna drop loot. Are people that do Savage raiding gonna be expected to do this to keep up with gearing? Because I feel like, you know, if you're not careful, you do sort of run a risk of becoming a little too much like a certain other MMO. Yeah, like the thing that was always off-putting about like Mythic Plus was always the time limit to me. But like I say again, people like rush it, like to rush the just normal dungeons in this game, which is it makes sense. So I guess even if there wasn't a time limit, you would be expected to go through as soon as quick as possible, right? But it does sound like originally the idea for this was a challenging content that you could do between 1 and 4 players, and then during development, it sort of changed. I imagine maybe they were struggling to get the challenging version working for sort of a variety of different players group sizes, and so they sort of switched it up to this. And the reason the other version exists is because they made that. this variant dungeons exists is because they like said they were gonna do that. I mean, I was kind of looking forward to having something challenging just to play around with on my own. I know, MMO. It's just an MMO. Why are you playing an MMO if you want to do it on your own? In my mind, the thing I always really liked about WoW was that it was like it was an RPG, right? It's one of my favorite genres, but there were people running around. It wasn't really the dungeon stuff that appealed to me with it. But I feel like the more and more they've gone on, the less and less that's a thing. It's less, you're in this world and you're sort of seeing other people run around. And you get to run around with other people and you'll do like shit together. Now that's like the side dish to going in some instance thing, which is like the least MMO thing to me, which is weird because I think in most people's minds that's what the MMO is, but to me that's the least MMO thing. That's like, I don't know, it's like playing freaking Overwatch or something. I know it's like, obviously it's not, it's completely different, but it's like you're going into a match, you're going to a raid, you're going into a match, you're going into some instance piece of thing that isn't part of the world. Like it is canonically, but you're not there in the world. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's really I mean, that's just me going on about another game, though, isn't it really? It's not really an issue here. Because, there is, so that world thing is here. I don't think it's here to the same extent. Although there's the fates and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, I don't think there's any worry that they're gonna go too far down that path. I just, I don't know. The time stuff is, it's that, and then you can't revive, so you have to do it. It's very, like, it's got a very hardcore vibe to it. Which I guess, content for everyone, right? It's only fair. It shouldn't only just be like the ultimates every other patch, it's not even every other patch, is it? It's like every now and then we'll drop one in. There should be consistent content for people that like to push harder stuff. So, fair enough. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if that has an adverse impact. Well, not adverse, but if it has an impact on sort of the player base. Because I don't think Mythic had a particularly good impact on WoW. Right? It sort of turned the player base into a bunch of, yeah. Not to say that it wasn't like that initially, but I feel like it really, I don't know, it set something off in people. But then there's no like gear score in this game or anything, right? So, and they don't call it gear score anymore, do they? They call it item level or whatever. They added something new, didn't they? Raider IO or whatever. Or was that the mod, and then they added a thing based off the mod? I don't know. I haven't played like since before they did that. But yeah, that stuff is very off-putting to me. Because I suck. I'm not very good. And it sort of tramples any desire to get better. Because people will see it and they'll be like, well, I don't want you. Again, I don't think that'll be, I don't think they'd put anything like that in here, would they? Which is good. Yeah. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how people take to it. It's just, I've seen people coming over to this, obviously everyone watches streams, and one of the things people seem to quite like was the fact that you can keep reviving people. There's no restriction to that other than the debuffs you get. So it's weird that they've, well, it's not weird, but it's interesting that they've taken that out of this mode. I'm intrigued to see how people take to that. Yeah. And again, it's like, it's only the first one, so if it doesn't work out, they can change things later. We're spending a lot of time talking about something I'm not going to interact with. I think it's because there's always this part of me that sort of wants to do that content. You know, I want to do Savages. I don't know. I sort of have this element, I don't think I could. You know, I struggle sometimes. Well, sometimes I struggle with the normal modes. I definitely did the first time around. And like the water one in Pandemonium, I still kind of struggle with that one sometimes. I say I struggle with it. I feel like it's a group struggle. You know, I feel like we all mess that one up together whenever I do that. And then the bird one, sometimes I forget. You know, the big plume thing. It took me forever to figure out what was going on with that. Yeah. I don't know. One day, maybe. One day, I would like to get involved in that stuff. I just don't know that I have it in me. Oh, well, this is depressing, isn't it? I'm so glad I didn't. Why am I glad? I don't know if I am glad. There's part of me that's glad I didn't stream that bit. Cause I streamed up until the dungeon in Alpes, and I was having so many connection issues, which I've just changed my internet provider today. I'm happy to see that it seems to be holding up so far. It's not supposed to be better, but the other ones wanted to charge me extortionate amounts, so I was like, you know what. Then I changed it, like, oh, we'll make it even cheaper, and it's like, well, you said that last time, and then you upped the price like 2 weeks later, 2 months later. So I was like, I don't trust you. And I know they're all gonna do it, but I feel like it sends a message, right, if you switch. It's like, don't fuck with me. Please. I do not wish to be fucked with. But yeah, I was having connection issues. I just got so frustrated with that it was sort of hampering my enjoyment of playing through the actual story. So I stopped streaming it after that point. Which is a shame. Well, I think maybe sort of like, because right after that you go to Labyrinthos, right? Don't think my reaction to that would have been very entertaining to watch. I was not happy. the one quest everyone memes on where you have to find those people, made me so angry. I was so annoyed with that one. It's like, why do you have people with fucking things above their head if they're not they're not the people to talk to? You go talk to them and like, oh no, not me, you go talk to someone else, mate. Like, and then you realize, oh, you can go in some of these fucking houses? What? Yeah, I was not happy. And then there's that music blurting out in the background, and you're like, this worked for me in Shadowbringers when you did this, but it's not working for me here because nothing of what's going on is exciting in this zone. I feel bad for the Loporits because I feel like every time they pop up in the MSQ, it kind of gets a bit dull. Like, I feel like those are the worst parts of that expansion, right? To me, anyway, those are the parts I wasn't. Well, like their little ship I did, like that wasn't dull. Like you got the cool battle music and stuff on there, and the environment was cool like the first time you see it. I go back there now and I'm not like as into it. I think it's too big. I get why it's so big, because like they thought we were huge because the Amarantines were huge, but well, they weren't fucking as high as that dome is like. But yeah, it's so big and spacious and kind of a bit empty. Yeah. But then it ends with that bit with Oriange, which is, I think, the first time I shed a tear at this game. It's the first time they got me. Right, which, that's the thing, I don't know that I would have reacted the same way if I was actually streaming it, though. Because as much as I try and not know that there's like chat there and shit, it's hard not to know. Right, I can't ignore it, it's there and I try to and I just can't. Even if there's nothing going on, it's there. So I wonder if I would have responded differently. Especially with the bit in Ultima 4, because like, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Graha going that got me going, or if it was the bit with Alice and Alphinae. I think Graha sort of started the waterworks, because Graha is my favourite, of course. And then like the dam broke when Alice says like, oh, it's not fair on him. Oh, here we go.
はい、戻ってまいりました。第71回ファイナルファンタジー14プロデューサーレターライブをお送りしております。
Welcome back.
はい。
皆さん、しっかり休憩いただけたでしょうか。
Always nice to see you.
ねえ、
ね、
どうなんでしょう。
Again, if you would like to watch the
休
actual,
ませていただきましたけど
like to watch the stream that I'm watching, here is the link.
多分この後動画がですねとか喋ってるうちに3分あったうちの1分少々使ってしまってたみたいで。使ってしまってた。なるほど。動画開けたら1分で。
They're doing a fantastic job of translating this so far, so they deserve a lot of
ど
kudos.
こ行ったって書かれてるよ。
Okay, welcome back to the second half.
And it's nice to have a little bit of a translation going on.
Out of sync videos that happen in between, Foxconn has apparently miscalculated the entire duration of the videos throughout 15 minutes. So there are stream comments, stream chats that says, "Where did my break go?" But, you know,
ちょっと見てたら、はい、吉田今日咳多いな。大丈夫
I was in the bit of a middle of a discussion.
yeah, apparently people are concerned that Yoshida has been coughing a lot throughout the PLL, so they are worried that Yoshida is quite in a bad health.
Well, Yoshi, they're always going on about his health, aren't they?
He apologizes for making people worry about him.
今回今何号目ぐらいにいますか。まだピークは超えている。
もう全然ですよ。全然ですよ。私何個肩書きあると思ってるんですか。
そうなんですよね。そうなんですよ。
そうなんです。
まあ、我々もあれなんです。吉田さんが次の山を登り始めたなってなると、中定例が全部キャンセルになるので。
But yeah,
like
once it broke, once that dam broke,
smoking
it
a lot
did
more
not
than
restart.
well, probably because due to stress.
執行役員で
So
It didn't stop.
なんか
So that would have been embarrassing to do. But again, I don't know if I would have reacted the same way.
ことも考えなきゃいけないし
It's interesting to think about it.
Yoshida is heading towards another mountain or what because the interactions go down a lot. Yeah, that's true.
いろいろございます。
でまあ本当最近ありがたいことに経済系、ビジネス系のいろんなメディアさんとかから講演依頼とか、
Yes, 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 I agree.
気候の依頼とか取材とかすごいですけど、もう全部お断りさせていただいて、もう本当無理ですって、本当ごめんなさいって。
Although he has been receiving a lot of
本当びっくりするぐらい
invitations for interviews and business media publishing and all that, but Yoshida have to reject them because he really doesn't have the time for it.
Oh, bless him.
He's way too busy with his current work right now, so he
Yeah,
has
he's got
no
2 games on the go, hasn't he?
he has no time for all these appearances.
あれだったんですよ。
Yeah.
鼻つまみ物的なね。その結構ねみんななんか先生やってたりとか。あいつは
割と固めな方。
そうだったんですよ。あいつはなんか何なんだみたいなちょっと空気があったんですけど、もうなんか本当僕なんか出したらあれですよって。格下がりますよみたいな。びっくりするぐらい。
And he's also very concerned about his image because attending all these media conferences will make him feel like he's slacking over his job.
エンジニア目指してますとか、ゲーム業界目指してますとか、
I mean, maybe.
そういうものにはできる限りご協力したい。
昔からおっしゃってますよね。
芸大でもやらせてもらったぐらいなんで。
メキシコにも行きました。
そうなんですよ。
He is doing his best to inspire the next generations of those who wanted to enter the game industry, and he wanted to help out. He wanted to contribute as many as he can, but he really isn't in the position right now to do that.
まあすいません。
He's
余談
way
で
too
した。はい
busy
という
in
わ
what
けで
he's doing right
タ
now.
バコを
I mean, it makes sense.
すいません。
Bless
Yeah,
him.
so the reason why he coughs is
はい、ちょうだい。
because he has
はい
been smoking
で
a
は
lot.
後半行きましょう。
But
はい。
currently it's none
すいま
of
せんこちらからです
it's nothing worth concern.
画面お願いします。よいしょ
Next,
Smoking.
Island Sentry.
Tut
い
tut.
よいよ、
うん
いよい
Finally,
よ
finally.
言ってから
Here we
なかなか
go.
情報が出てこなかった無人島開拓
Expectations have been
Finally,
well and
we
truly
are going to go
quenched.
to Island Sentry.
Don't worry.
もう僕の実機チェック第1弾はもう始まってます。ただですね、今まだちょっとバグが多くてですね、あまりにもでかいんで、コンテンツ全体がちょっとバグがまだ多くて。
So currently the status of the content is that it's already built
まあ
up
そも
and
そ
it's
も
already
無人島
been
開拓ってどんなコンテンツで
it's already
何
been
がで
built
き
up
るのっていう
and
ところから
prototype of it is already
ちょっとご紹介した上
ready,
で
but
はい
次
and
回
we already gave it a check.
第72回
It's just
PLL
way
の
too many bugs right now,
6.2
so
特集パート2の方で
はい
ちょっと実機も交えてですね
can't really show
お
you
伝えできれば
right
と思
now
ってるので
Okay.
今日はちょっ
because
と
the content has way too many
テキ
bugs
スト
to
と
iron
の
out
説明で
before they can probably show it.
はい
Alrighty.
To actually show what Island Sentry is, it
Yeah,
will be
you
for
can
part
show.
2 of the Spec 6.2 feature.
Okay.
First of all, they will let you know about the overview of this particular content.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
お一つ無人島を差し上げますので、開拓していただきます。一人
Right.
一人一頭開拓していただきます。はい。でまあ、ざっくり言うとですね、その
Comes with a lot of expectations, that
素
sentence,
材を
doesn't it?
収集したり、
Hmm.
はいまあ、
So,
It
the
could mean
first overall
anything.
content will be
拠点を
first
作
build
ったり
your own personal
工
island
芸品
sanctuary.
を作ったり
This means one person will get their own island. One person, one island.
Right.
And next will be enjoy new casual solo gameplay, gather materials, care for creatures, build facilities, craft
でまあ
items,
そ
and
の
more.
素材収集とか
Okay.
拠点作りとか工芸品生産っていうとまあクラフターギャザラーやってないんだよねってなるかもしれない
Is this music
クラフターとかギャザラー
from
の
it?
知識とかは一切必要ご
Sounds
ざいま
it
せん
sounds very
So,
appropriate either way.
people are worried that all this kind of the second point is usually already the point that applies to gatherers and
一人一
you
個
know
もらえる
crafters, but you don't really need to have a knowledge of
ちっちゃいんでしょ
a crafter or
That's
gatherer
good.
in order to enjoy this content.
That's definitely a good
So
idea.
yeah, no experience as a disciple of the
今日
land
唯
of
一
hand
だ
is
そう
required.
I think being able to get experience from it
今日唯一
would
だ
be a
So
good thing,
first
though.
of all, they will show you a
Right.
screenshot.
Not having to use it
見てみましょ
is
う
a good thing, but getting experience
So
would be.
let's take a look at
無人
the
島
island.
荒めの
They're beautiful.
荒めのポリゴン
So
Beautiful.
what
え
is an empty island
右
but
下
polygons?
はい
がです
So please look at the bottom right.
入り江です
Is
入り江です
is the shape of it supposed to be a giveaway for where it is or
になん
something?
か小さい点がポツンとあるのって互角
It looks very nice though, a little bit.
So
なんか
can you
砂浜に
actually
ですね
see?
黒い点がポツってあるんですよ
皆さんよく
Uh,
よくご覧いただい
can
て
you please look carefully at the bottom
Well,
right where you see a small black dot over there? You notice that, right?
Yeah, yeah, I see that.
This is the size of a Rugadi.
Oh, okay. It's quite big.
あれがルガディン
なるほどなるほど
So is it not the whole
That
island?
black dot is a
そう
Rugadi.
そうそう
We do not. Yeah, this is a Rugadi is put there for the
こ
measure
の
of
モ
size.
ザイクの向こう
For the
側にあ
purpose
る
of size
すべて
measurement.
の
Nice,
島を
nice.
お一人一頭ずつ差し上げますので、開拓していただきます。
So from there you get to explore the island and build them
Oh,
from
it
the
does
ground.
sound like it's all of it then, that's cool.
サイズか。サイズか
Okay, if it is the entire
So
island,
this will
どんな
that's humongous.
let you roughly
ご紹
imagine
介したいと思
I
います
give them that, that is humongous.
scale
しか
of
もです
the
ね
the
こちら
island.
タダでもらえます。
太っ腹
ほんのちょっとクエストやってもらえれば。
はは
Nice little bit of water to swim into.
There will be rewards that you will receive for free. You just have to do a few quests for
で
it.
できることをご紹介していきましょう。
Yeah, this island is free.
まずです
Ooh.
I
ね
have to
大
reiterate
自
it.
然
This
この
island
無
is
人島の
free.
大
You
自
just have
然
to do the quest
から
to
まあ
access
素
it.
材を集めていただきます。
So what you
で
can
まあ
do
無
in
今
Island
無
Sanctuary.
人島ではあるんですけど、どうやら
Gather
かつて
materials
は
from nature.
一時期人がちょっと住んでいた
This could be a lot of
けど
fun.
打ち捨てられて今
This could be a
使われ
big
ない
time sinker.
So currently, this island belongs to you and you alone, and there won't be people in the island.
Right.
Okay, you are completely alone in the island. So,
で素材
so the
は
first thing you will
こ
do
こで
is to
手に
get
入
the
る素材
materials
っていう
from
のは
nature.
無人島専用になってます。で専用のバッグを作りましたの
Oh,
で、
specific and take up
インベントリーを
separate
圧迫
inventory
するという
space.
ことはございません。
Oh,
So you don't have to worry about your inventory space
専用の
because
バッ
the
グ
materials that are gathered in the island, island are specific specific to only that, we have prepared a separate inventory space for
Oh.
you. So all of the
That's what that
materials
means.
that you gather from the island will go to that special
最初
inventory
は
space.
Awesome.
手でこう
Perfect.
むしり取れるものとかをこう集めるんですけど、
なるほどね
まあ最低限
Perfecto
集め
mundo.
たらそれでまずちょっと
I was worried for a minute
なん
there.
かね、斧的なものを作ってもらったら
I took that to mean it was going to be separate from things, from like
This will also
crafting
be
things you get
process made
elsewhere.
because they will let you gather a certain amount of materials. Then from there you build the tools that require you to explore the island. Then
Minecraft, I
craft
get
those from
it.
the gather
Yeah.
materials, and with that the tools will help you harvest new resources more effectively.
Go punch some
まあ
trees.
そんな感じで
If we're not punching trees, then we're
So
going to be
this is
very
the rough
unhappy.
overview of
次
Island
無
Century.
人島でできることに、
So
畑
from
を
there you
作れ
get to
ます。
explore the unmanned island.
畑、
Alright.
土地を切り
Makes
開い
sense, makes sense.
あのそこに
Thing is, they've said building now.
でそ
Like
こ
you
で
build the
So from
island,
there,
and I'm
the
very
second one
intrigued
of,
to see how
Island
that
Century activities is that you grow
島
crops.
で
Can you put stuff where you want them?
種から育てて、まあ、収穫をする
Or is it gonna be in, like,
もう
planned out
ハウジングの栽培
slots?
とはもう別物にな
I'm
る
going to assume the
So
second.
you get to grow crops over there, and the crops that you harvest from the Island Century is completely separate from the housing
島
one.
にはですね
Right.
動物たちがワイワイしてるんで
The objective is for you to plant and cultivate seeds you find on your island, which is
Wonder-
very different from the one on your housing.
What you do-
場所を作
What you do with the plants?
So from there, you get to collect and care for various creatures as well.
Like food,
レ
maybe?
アカラーユニークな動物が出現する
So you may encounter rare animals for you to
あの動物
catch.
だけ
はい
And
もう連れてきて
Shiny
可愛がって
Pokemon.
みたいな名前も
So
ねつけ
you
れます
get to domesticate them, you catch them,
Right.
care for them. So
なのでもう
That
ぜひ
sounds cool.
気に入った名前を
keep an eye out for the rare coloring and unique critters.
手入れをね
I will do, Yoshi-san. I will do.
さらにですね
And furthermore,
その
furthermore,
I'm going to spend far too much time on this,
一応こ
aren't
の
I?
辺りにねその活動
Just
拠点を
watch your time evaporating as it continues.
施設を建築することができます。
so the third thing you can do in the Island Century is that
Yeah,
you get to
これ
build a base of operations.
you-
That sounds too
そうしたり
exciting.
グレードアップしたり
Expectations in check. Expectations in check, boy.
まあ
So this lies in the questions of how much you can upgrade or further build your base of operations.
Customize its appearance, unlock further tools for development.
customize its
Expectations in
appearance
check.
and unlock further tools
Expectations
for
in check.
development.
グレードアップさせていく遊びなんですけど、
はい
So it's a game of grading up
どれにします
your base
選んでもいい。
Right.
as time
な
goes
んか
on.
初期の一
Can
番
you use
ちょっとこうボロいの
decorations and
なるほど
stuff?
なるほど
So you get to choose whether to make it modernize, you make it modern, or you want to make it like a rundown.
Yeah.
まあこれで機能開放されると
Anything
さらにやれる開拓項目が
Seems like the kind of thing they'll be able to add into the
So
store, I
they will,
imagine,
as
later
you
on.
build along, there will be more
さらに
options
ですね
available for you.
こちら
New versions.
ずっとやり
I
たい
can't help it, that's where my mind goes.
So the next one will be the very heavily requested feature from those who want to put their minions in the housing. But
その拠点内に
yeah, in Island Century you get to release the minions,
話がして、
and your favorite minions may
Be
wander
weird.
freely within your
して
base.
なんだって
It would be weird to see the little freaking miniature people running around, wouldn't
で
it?
ま
Like,
あなんか自分のくつろぎの
the, wind-up grahas and stuff. that'd be kind of
So you get
creepy.
to choose
In a way.
which minion you want to
でさらにで
release
すね
and which minion you want to position them
Be
at
fun,
your
eh?
base of operations.
工芸品というのを作れます。
Overview will be to
で
create
じゃあ
handicrafts.
何や
Okay.
それ
So
島の素
to
材を
understand what
組
this
み合わ
handicraft
せ
means,
て
Some good material and
to
texture.
assemble collect the material into handicrafts and export them.
輸出することができ
Try
ます
to align exports with the market demand for the best possible results.
それから相場っていうのを
Okay.
まあ利益を上げ
Market
る
demand, is that players? Or is
ただこ
that
れギルじゃな
like
く
an
て
AI
無
thing?
人島専用の通
I
貨
wonder.
これによって獲得できます
Separate currency too, huh?
流行と相場っていうと
Interesting.
何プレイ他のプレイヤ
It's
ーの
probably a
影
good
響
thing.
とかあんのみたいなそれね今回ソロに特化して
Gameplay
る
is not affected by other players'
それ
actions.
その人それぞれに
Please note that Yoshida is repeating the one in the slide right now, where handicrafts will be sold for island-specific currency and not geo.
はい
And the gameplay is not affected by other players' actions.
Interesting.
なるほ
So I assume market demand
Yeah.
is sort of NPC
アイ
stuff.
テムとその通貨を
Like it's not a player-orientated
様
thing.
々なねこの無人島の
Exchange
海底の
accumulated
中
island currency for special
を
items.
いろんな遊びで得られる通貨
Okay.
ございますので
So with that content, you get to earn rewards and exchange accumulated island currency for
得る
special
ことも
items.
できます。
I wonder if the items are like based on the customization
So
aspect.
something
And,
で
like,
さらに
I imagine it's both,
ブ
right?
レンド
stuff focused on that and stuff
フレンドとか
outside of it.
フリーカンパニーの
You
メ
also
ンバー
get
に関して
to
は、
socialize with friends,
訪問
Makes sense, makes sense.
invite visitors, or travel to the islands of friends and free company members.
I think people would be disappointed if you couldn't do that, right?
まあこれはもう閉じて自分だけの
There's an
と
MMA.
いうのであれば、
That's
シャッ
cool.
トアウトすることもできますし
You can shut out
はい
unwanted
なので
players
ちょっ
from
と
accessing your island if you want to,
Mhm.
or you
いろい
can
ろ
invite
手が
your,
入
your
ってい
visitors,
ろいろ書いた
your
り
friends
こん
and
なの立てて
visitors
なん
to travel
こうな
around
ったら
your
今
island
日
as
チャ
well.
ットす
Wonder
る
if you can make it
だった
public,
ら
let anyone
So you
come.
get two choices, whether to make it public or private.
That's
まあ
cool.
正直言うと
Just any random
まあ
person could come.
全員
That'd be
が
neat.
途中で作るっていうイ
And
メ
then
ー
you
ジ
can be like, nah, they want you to come. There should be a third option, like, right, public, friends only, or friends FC only, whatever.
こうみたいな感じにできる
Private.
でさらにですね、無人島でできることを
Sorry, I have to skip a little bit.
No
段
worries,
階を
no
経てですね
worries.
さっきの島巨大な島
Sounds cool,
エリア拡張っていうのが
Yeah.
行われて
I don't have any
広がってっ
friends.
てまあ最終的にはああなるっていうことを建てられる建物も結構な数そのもう
Mm.
見た目だけのものを建てるとかいうのもできますしあとは
I want to know more about this
最終的
building
にはフライ
aspect,
ング回
though.
避して
So
飛べ
this
る
special,
That's the thing that
マ
I'm
ウントスピードは
sort
ね
of most interested in.
通常のエリアではできないぐらいのマウントスピードグラウンドマウントスピードを上げといたので
ham.
その辺
You
は
know, go all out
ソロ
on the
で
island
時間に
development.
縛られ
So
ない
take your time and
普段
you
か
take
かって
and build your island at your
っていうのは
own
でき
pace.
るだけなくしたの
Flying wheel
で
are not at
結構
some
早い
points, so mount speeds are rather high for this particular
飛べ
content.
るっていう3文字が
I'm not sure I'll be taking my time. I'm going to be honest, Josie boy.
Please be assured that there will be no either currents.
まあある程度探索しないと飛べないっていうところがあるから
But yeah, I want to know about the building. Is it just the one building we make, or...?
でまあ
So- something
こ
like that.
こからまた発展させてったり
Because it did say build your
こういう
island
カプセル手を入れたりするから
at the start.
まあ遊んでって例えば今ちょっとコメントにもあったんです
Do we get to decide where these crop fields and stuff go?
まあそういったなんかこう拡張アイデアとかこんなことできたらいいなっていうのもプレイをして
I'm greedy, I want too much information.
僕らがまあアップデートの参考にもねぜひさせていただき
So there are some comments that say that it would be nice to you to bring the NPCs or their favorite NPC to
だ
the
け
island as well,
お伝えしてるんですけど
and many
まあ
other
次回はちょっ
features.
と実機
So
はい
feel free to
を
post
交え
this
て
kind of
でた
feedback
だ
at the forum. So
I would
that
love that.
when they update Island Century in the future, they may be able to
はいはい
use this as a
ちょっと
reference.
辛いじゃん
I think this is a really cool thing to
え
just
で何すんのみたいな
set up and
で
start.
好きにしていいんですよ
Like, the places they could take it is really exciting.
序盤のチュートリアルで
I mean, what they've said
So
so
a
far
good
is
thing
really
about this
exciting.
Island Century content that's going to be implemented in
手作業で取れ
6.2
るもの
Right.
as a tutorial of sorts for now.
最
So
低限の拠点を作って最
the
低限の畑を
features
作
that's
って
available for you
最
can
低
be
限
quite
の
restricted,
飼育
Okay.
エリアを作ってみたいなところまでは
but rest assured that they will expand the feature in
トゥードゥ
the
方
in
式で
future patch.
一応進めて
Sorry,
いきますけどもう
rest assured that they
こ
will
こだけ
actually expand the
どうぞ
content in later
は
patches.
やることはやらなくて
So
も
that
い
you
い
get
し
the
Fair enough.
やってもいいしみたいな
なるほどなるほど。
感じに
So during the initial process, you will
で
develop
あん
the
まりちょ
bare
っと
minimum
今
of what
調
is
整い
required
ろ
for
い
the
ろ
island,
プレイ
but
しながらや
everything
ってるんですけ
else
どあんまり手を
will
引
be
っ張
completely
ら
up to you.
りすぎないでくれ
Okay.
やらされてる感になっちゃうと、
はい
それはそれで違うんで、
So everything has to be taken slowly and
まあ
gradually.
とはいえね、あくまでも
Indeedy. I'm looking forward to get my hands on it, though.
できることだから、
はい
なんかマイクラのようにこう
Yeah.
ゴリ
So
ゴリ
do
岩と
note
か
that
自
you
分
know
で作り
this
変えて
is
そういうのじゃないん
still
で
a content that
すごい面白い
confines within the realms of Final Fantasy XIV. So please don't expect it to be something like
天
Minecraft.
候は変わりますけど
Don't worry, don't worry.
ずっと俺んとこ雨なんだよなってなるのも嫌なんでちょっとね結構気持ちよく晴れが
I mean, I think most people's sort of
So-
first and over the top expectation was
The
Animal
vendor
Crossing,
system is
right?
going
That
to
was
be somewhat
mine.
separated from Eosia.
Or Stardew
And,
Valley, that's the first thing that came
it's
to my
not going
mind.
to be raining cats and dogs all the time, and they will make it so that it goes sunny for quite a longer
拠
amount of
点
time.
に今
Of course, next
なん
will
とかこれちょっとリクエ
during
スト
part 2 they will introduce more of this
これで
content.
いこうかってなって
Alrighty.
ロケットリオンを置けるようにしたんであの
Look at the little dude with the
ロケ
orange.
ットリオン置いて好きな
Or tomato, or whatever. It's gotta be an orange, right? It's
だ
orange.
んだん小さくなってるんですよ可調範囲から
はい
減衰して
うん
でちょうどね畑 農作物の作業やってる
Yeah,
時に
like the most exciting thing about this is where they could go with it. Because obviously,
これええなって言ってやってた
it's not going to be Animal
まあ好きな
Crossing.
曲
But
Well, this is still under testing.
you could sort of head in that direction.
In the base.
That would be exciting.
So the further you get away, the further the music will sound. This is actually quite an experiment that they did while implementing the feature, and Yoshida saw it as well. Wow, this is actually quite neat. So they decided to put it in.
します
はい。
More
Sounds cool.
details and in-game footage will be detailed in the coming part 2.
というところで今日の
Alright,
項目無人島
I look forward to it.
はいここまず
So that's all for Island Century.
はい
Yeah,
で、続いて
that's probably the thing I'm most
So
looking forward
continue
to,
with the
although
next one.
more looking forward to it
Adventure
in the
plate
future.
お待たせしましたが
Maybe not the
6.2
6.2 version if it's a tutorial, but like where it goes is very
So,
exciting.
ようやくパッチ 6.2 でベータ版から正式リリース版と
So
Mm.
finally, we will be transitioning from beta version to the
はい
official
お待た
release
せ
of
し
the
ました
feature.
Cool, it's a very cool
じゃあ
feature.
何が変わっていくのかというと
Again, something that's a really cool basis to build on.
He's going to explain what's going to change for this particular
ま
content.
ず
Cool seeing how much of that
とにかくわかりづらい
Been doing this sort of patch series.
関連付けの仕組みっていうの
Just
を
cool stuff to build on. Like the dungeons that they're adding. Cool basis to build off
this
of.
ことで
feature, for update
で
portal
ですね
features,
まず
they have
現
revamped
状
every
今皆さん
single
公
feature,
開され
every
てい
single
る
thing of this particular feature
6.2
from
前の
scratch.
状態
I like the sound of
the
that.
current
図にしました
current specification is a bit too
今
complicated for them to work on.
Yeah, the linking at the
ま
minute
ず
doesn't
ポートレー
seem
トこうたくさん
great.
作るんですけどそれらをさらにですね
Okay, a number of portraits could be created and used for any purpose. When previewing or editing portraits, current gear was reflected.
自由度が一見高いんですけど
Instant portrait gear
結果めちゃ
sets.
くちゃ分かりづらくて
うん
なんでセットしたのにこう元に戻るのみたいなでそのうちもういいやもうってだからクリスタルコンフリクトやっていてもですねメインで多分使ってたジョブは結構きっちりあるんですけどその
The reason why they
ちょっと
reveal
使って
it
み
is
っかな
because
に
currently
なる
with
と
the
みんな
current specification,
な
while
るんですよ
it
あ
really
れ
brings
そう分か
a
んな
lot
くなっ
of
てね多
flexible
分投げ
features
てるんだろうなっ
or
て
how they call it,
よう分から
can
んなんか
do many things
一個や
for
る
it,
だけだ
but
みたいな
the more you do, the more you feel
や
that
っぱり
something is
でもポ
wrong,
ートレートを
feels
作っ
wrong
てか
about
ら
it.
各用途に適用するっていう
I've
形
set
に
this
なって
particular
て
portrait for the
しか
particular
も
editor, but why
プレビューす
in
る
the
時とか編
particular
集する時
file
は
the portrait for the particular
So-
doesn't reflect on my
そ
profile.
の時
So
作って
it
セーブした装
So
備じゃな
while
くて
it
現
looks
在の装備が使われるから
flexible
余
and
計わ
free,
かんないですよあれおかしい
it
多
ultimately
す
becomes
ぎ
very
て
restrictive in the end.
有機的きっちり作ったのになんで
So this
ここをすいません
in
根
turn
本的に作り
created
直
a
して
very
じゃあどうなる
confusing,
かというとですね
confusing,
正式リリースとなる
I did, yeah.
6.2では
confusing
ですね
understanding of what this system is all about.
はい
and a lot of portraits end
アド
up
ベンチ
just
ャ
player
ラープ
characters
レート
standing
に
here
は
with no
ア
expression
ド
at
ベ
all.
ンチャラープレート用
Yeah.
のポートレートを作れます。こ
After
れはもうだから
that, we are going
キャラクターの
to
名刺のよう
review
な
it.
イメージです
And
ね。
what
ど
does
の
this
ジョブ
mean
をやっ
once
て
we
よう
review
が、
this?
え
So
ー
going to the next slide will be
現在のジョブは関係ないと。もう私の名刺としてはこのポートレートを常に使います。で、さらにギアセットに対してポートレートを作るっていう紐付けることをしました。
when you create an
なの
Avenger
で、ギ
plate,
アセット
it
の
will be
数分ポ
the
ートレー
main
トが
portrait
作れ
for
る
the。Avenger plate that you're
だから
going to
例えば
put in your
ナイトで
profile.
Okay.
ギアセット1がナイトだった
They
ら
are not going to
ナイ
make
ト用
it
の
so
ポートレー
that
トを作
you
れば
know red mage should be
それ
red
はもう
mage
その
specific
まま
for
保
portrait
存される
or
っていう
black mage should be
も
specific
う
black
単
mage
純
portrait
に1
anymore.
対1に紐付けて
That's a
You
good
can
thing, I
also
think.
set your portrait to reflect the gear set that you're setting to.
さらにチート対策
Avenger
Nice.
plate
データ
that
書
set
き換え
specifically
を
for
ダ
gear
イブがで
1,
きないように
gear
する
set
ため
1 or
には
gear set 2 and so
複
on.
雑なことが入って分かりづらくなってしまうので
That's good.
単純に1対1にしましょう。
なるほど。
So a different
You
portrait is
totally
created
should.
for each avenue used. When
なので
we're
用途
editing,
ごとに
the
1対
gear
1
used during
ポ
portrait
ートレ
creation
ー
is
トっていう
reflected
のを
instead of a
作
current
っ
gear.
ていただきます。で、プレビュー
Okay.
や編集の際はその保存した時ので出るので
はは。
混乱することがない。今の装備とかじゃなくて
This in turn, the confusion came as a result of us trying to cross one portrait into too many different features.
Right.
ただですね、申し訳ない。本当に申し訳ないんですけど、
Trying to
データの
simplify it a
構造
bit.
から何から全部作り直したため
It's
に
a
で
good
すね
idea.
Though
なんとか
one thing to note is that all of the portrait settings that you have done up to this point will be completely deleted from the database, so you will have to rebuild it
大変に
again.
なってしまったので、
Wow. Shit.
So he apologizes for the inconvenience that you will have to rebuild your portrait after the official release of the
Oh
portrait.
no.
なんとか欲しかったんですけど、それをやろうとするとやっぱりますます分かりにくい。
Oh well, it's worth
So
it, I
if
guess.
we leave the current data in, it will make the
でです
you
ね
know the
じゃあちょっと
workload
具体的に
even more confusing than before.
編集する
Which is
のっていう
why
のを正式版の方でちょっとご紹介したい
he
と思います
apologized, but you
Ah,
have
it's
to rebuild your
fine.
portrait starting
I
from.
パッ
suppose.
チ6.2以降のポートレートのこう編集方法なんですけど、もう今これアドベンチャープレート
Listing up
No, 編集画面なんですけど、
what can you
アド
do
ベンチャー
by
プレー
editing
ト
the
の
portrait as a patch
ポートレート
6.2.
はもうガチ1対1なので、
はい
ここから、プロフィー
Okay.
ルだったり、これ用のポートレートを編
Sounds
集する
good.
というダイレクトに、はい、なりましたんで、何も考えない。
はい
アドベンチャープレート
So
を
what
作ると
Yoshida
したら
said
ここだ
here
けで
is
完
as
結でき
already
る
listed in the slide
なっ
itself.
ている
So
の
you
で、
can refer to the
ま
slide.
あ自分がどんな情報を
Indeedy,
やってい
indeedy.
るかと
How
か
about a look see?
これ
Do you want me to read it for you?
紹介はこれだっていう
Adventurer
のを
Blade portraits and search comments may be
So
edited from
this means
Adventure
that
Plate
everything will be
interface.
unified into one single purpose where if you want, no, regardless of what job you are, if you want that particular portrait to be the one that is your main, you can use this particular portrait.
Okay. That's good. Portraits may be updated to reflect current equipment. Players may also choose to edit only camera settings, motions, etc.
So everything will be made much more easier to understand when you fiddle with these
その
settings.
ギアセ
coming
ッ
to
ト
this
ごとの
point.
ってどう
Sounds
なる
good.
かというとですね
So what happens to the specific gear set
オープンされてい
portrait
るギ
feature?
アセットを選んで
The set list will be
このギアセットの
displayed
時
in
に
the
表示する
portrait
ポートレー
interface,
トを作りましょうという
allowing
形
players to
に変わ
create
ります
corresponding portrait for each set.
これもおそ
So
らく
please refer to the slide.
直感的
うん
あギアセット
Shall I read that a bit clearer for you?
でこれごと
Gear
に
set list will be
ポートレート作れ
displayed
ばいい
in
の
the
ね
portrait interface, allowing players to create a corresponding portrait for each set.
わかります
そうなんで
That
す
sounds
これ
good.
がこれがなんでこうなってなかったっていう話なん
So
です
this
けど、やっ
means
ぱそこはと
portrait
にか
will
く
have
便利
a
に
specific
いろんな使い
window
方をしてもら
where
おう。でもチートも防がないと
your
なってああなっちゃったんで、
gear set
もう
specs
こ
of
こ
a
は
particular
もう
job
1対
itself
1で一
will
度
be
設定した
saved
ら
into
逆に
the
言うとずっ
portrait
と
list
反映されるわけだから、
where you can create
こうしましょうと
various and different
いうことで
types
です
of
ねなっております
portrait that is geared
で
specifically for
当
that job.
然あの
So the way I would do this is have like two lists with a little arrow where you can like click the arrow and then it sorts the like
So
it
another further additions
expands
to
and
the
then
portrait
retracts or whatever.
which we'll outline in the next
You know what I
slide.
mean?
クリスタルコンフリクト
So you can click that and then gear list would be hidden. And you see everything else.
So
The ones you
previously
made.
the portraits will only
今
reflect
イン
in
スタン
the
ス
crystal
ダンジョンと
conflict
かもテストをやってるん
crystal
ですけど、
conflict, yeah, crystal conflict before the match starts. As of 6.2, they will add it to Doma Mahjong.
ちな
Okay.
みに ID も出したくない人は
I've not done that, so I don't know. I tried it once. I could not figure it out.
ポートレートが見れるっていう方が楽しくていいやという人はオンにします。
I like that they're
So,
expanding it to more
If
things though.
people don't like their portrait to be shown
まあ
when,
その分ちょっと
when
ね
they enter the
いろいろ
instance,
作んなきゃいけな
they
いの
will
で
prepare option to, for you to
こっちはま
disable
た
it.
6.2 以降
So
で
when you enter the instance, you won't be able to see the portrait
で、
of that certain someone who doesn't want their portrait to be shown.
使用できるモー
That's
ション
good.
っていうのを新たにさらに追加
So
数種類追加
they will
させて
add
いただ
more
きます
motions for new poses.
それから
It's also good.
装飾用
They will add more
飾り
new
付けです
poses
That's
飾
very
りを
good.
追加してます
for
それ
portrait.
から最も多分欲しいで
The more the
あ
better.
のポートレートを一回作ったやつ
Features of copying post camera settings for portrait.
コピー
That's
So
good
aside
too.
from that, there
Simplify
will be new
things.
decorative features added,
装備だけ変え
as
る
well
装備だ
as
け変えるっていうのがやりやすく
probably
な
the
るので
most requested feature,
まで
the feature for copying post camera settings for portraits added
お届けしたいなと
will be added.
思います
Nice.
はいはい
It's good to
まあ
hear.
ねちょっとねグループポーズのようにねバトルモーションとか特定
It was good to hear. I like it.
とかね LB が
Simplifies things a little
ある
bit.
と思うんですけどまあちょっとそこはねデバッグもあるんで徐々に増やしていけたらなと
We
思
do
うんですけ
receive
どはい
requests that they want to use
というわけで
animations like Limit Break and so
本当か
on.
らいろいろ
And we are working on that, so
Okay.
once we're ready,
はい
we'll
よ
let you
り
know.
シンプルでよ
That's
り
cool.
使いやすい形でパッチ
So
6.2か
yeah,
ら
we hope that this revamp will allow players to access this particular feature even easier than
Yeah.
before.
Sounds good to me.
And hopefully with the fixes and
さて
changes,
さら
you'll
にで
get
すね
to
他にも
I'm looking forward to seeing it expanded to even more
Now
things.
next we are moving on to
Really cool.
things.
まあ今日お伝えするものだけが
Miscellaneous
全て
updates, eh?
ざっ
So
と
just to let you
その
know that
他のアップデートを
what is going to
お伝え
list
してい
here
こう
in
と
this
思い
miscellaneous
ます
update is not everything.
まず
It's not an exhaustive list
パッ
of
チ
it.
6.2偶数パッチで
So we are going to list
新
out
た
only a
な
few
アラ
one
ガン
that
トー
is
ムストーンが
that is
Okay.
important. First of all, we will have new elegant tombstones.
エレガントームストーン、我々
Alrighty.
の語彙力もだいぶなくなってまいりましたが、
And yeah, we are getting out of ideas of how to make our elegant tombstones, but we still
I can
think
imagine.
how
消滅って言いたいだけやないかっていう気もする。
Casualty, huh?
there will
因
be
果です
elegant tombstones of
Was that
casualty.
causality?
代替わりして
In
消える
Japanese,
That
we
makes
call
more
it
sense.
elegant tombstone
因果お
inca.
前消えるのかってなる。
Inca.
まあまあまあ。
Inca
A
sounds
lot
better,
of chats
to be
are trying
honest.
to say that they are using it because the same line is being used in Garo, but still
New
it's going to
high
be
high
uniform.
level
For the new
crafted
elegant
gear
tombstone.
added.
Of
それ
course,
からです
with
ね
that
これ
new
は
high
だい
L
ぶ
crafted gear will be added.
リクエスト多くてですね、やっと手が回って作れたんです
Did
が
I say Gisco wasn't a
This
thing?
will be a very more
That
one of
was
the
bullshit, wasn't it?
出せるようになりま
He
す。
totally is an item
custom
level.
feature,
こちら
and we
What am I
finally get
talking
around
about?
to work on it, which is the ability to request repairs from other players,
It's also
both
used very
in
well.
and outside of duty.
レイドで
That's
コンテン
cool.
ツ入ってからごめん修理して
That's actually very cool. I like it.
This
Yeah,
will- this
the
will
item level
prevent,
is used very well. I don't know
Players
why
from
I
being
ignore what I
forgetful
said earlier.
when they went into the
俺修理してやれたのにみたいな。
and found out that oh
やっ
I
と
forgot to
本当
fix
お
my
待たせしま
equipment
した
and the others will go
こ
oh
れ
at you.
コンテンツ内で
So with this, you will be able to
他の
request
人
other
も
players to let you fix
なの
your.
でぜひ
You will be able to request
耐
others
久度
to
がっ
fix
て
your
いう場
equipment.
合は
That's cool.
修理を
So
It's
in
like a
case
real
any blunders
MMO.
happen, you can use the feature.
そしてですね、アクションリストがだいぶまあ申請の時から古くなってきて、
はい
各コンボの
I'm surprised it's not been done before, actually.
分かりにくくなってきたということでですね、
Makes a lot of sense.
アクションリスト
So
の
the next one
sequence
will be combo
display.
sequence
リニューアル
display
今
added to
回、
actions list
しました。
Is that what I think it is?
because due to the
に
amount of buttons getting more and more and more.
アクションリストの中で、
Is that what I think it is?
こういった形で、コンボルートごとにしかもですね、レベルに応じてこのアクション入れ替わりますよっていうものは変化アクションっていうのを押すとですね、レベル26の時はレイジ
This is like the PvP thing, right? But they're adding it into
で、まあ、ロイヤル
PvE.
What
I would maybe
usually
very
says here
happy.
is that
Someone that
allows you to understand that the actions that you learn from a particular level will lead to the other action
で
which
それ
you
ぞれ
obtain
独
at
立した
later
ウェポン
level.
スキルは独立した形で、
Yeah, for someone that
So this
played
will
でこれ
allow you
いやいや
to
従来の表示の方が良かったっていう方もいると思うので、切り
this
替
will
え
allow you
可能に
to
し
find
てあり
out
ます。
what actions
右
you
下に
need
通
to
常表示とフリー表示を
build in order to
どっち
build
も
out
選択
your
できるよ
your hotbars.
うになりますので。
So if players think that oh the previous one is better, I want back the previous list, you can get to toggle the switch
はい。
and go back to the previous action list if you
さ
want
ら
to.
にはですね、続いて
Yeah,
は
I played like
So next
through
on the
Shadowbringers
second
on
mission.
controller.
採掘士
I remember doing
の
PvP and the combo was there. I was like, why the bloody hell can I not do this in every content?
So next
It
one
was
will be
so
values
helpful.
added to material reductions
controller.
for minus botanies
みたいな
and
のは
fishes.
入れてはいないな。
So
なるほど。
materials
他の
of
ものを
not
クラフ
used in
トする時に
crafting
使う
better
レア
limited
素材
items.
を
Okay.
おります。もうちょっとね、遊び幅を広げたい。
So this is made to expand the playability of the particular content.
そ
So
してかねてからお
Okay.
約束していたミラージュドレッサーの拡張なんですが、
I guess
next is the promise
結
feature.
果的にいけまし
Since
た。
the plus,
400から800まで、
the glamour dresser capacity will be expanded from 400 to 800.
させていただきます。
I still think this is only a band-aid.
I don't he promised anything.
一気に
Need a new system.
Oh, we really
やってみ
I'm
ま
gonna
す。
say something I don't say very often, but
really did it.
take WoW's
So,
system.
he did it.
結構 SNS 等で見てました。ミラージュドレッサー、ミラージュドレッサ
But
ー。
yeah, if you're not adding new zones, I
いや
guess
なんか吉田
Quite a
準備
lot
してる
of
って
comments
言
like
って
this
たの
in Twitter or social media.
wars
So,
and stuff.
PL で話が出るのか
the capacity of
Don't
the
get
glamour
added.
dresser, I needed the
Thrift.
bigger. So yeah, we managed to do it. We did
はい、
it.
400が800に。
7.0
So,
new
400
glamour
will
system.
turn to 800.
Please.
まあでもきっと
Please.
3ヶ月したら
I know. You know, after 3 months, I will definitely see more comments as you're complaining about not enough spaces here and there. So
Oh yeah, 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 definitely.
あれをね、だいぶ
There's so much like armor in the game. There's
考えながら入れる
not
ことはした方
not
がいい
nearly enough slots for it.
so
all.
と
even
りあえず
though
詰め込めみたいなのはちょっとね、そうですね、断捨離もね、時折。
But it's
I
a good
know
start.
that you know
なん
the
か
the
一個ボ
spaces
タン作ろう。
capacity have been
オート
expanded
断
to
捨離。
400 to 800.
あなたの意思に
You will
反して
still have
私
to
が
think
断捨
of
離し
what
ますがよろしいです
You
か。
should insert in your glamour dresser
使われ
beforehand.
てないものは
So please give it a second thought before you put it in.
そうそう。
We are missing a feature that will automatically reverse everything that we haven't used in a
目をつぶってボタンを押すんだ
while. But if we do that, those
でも
items
その
will
代わり
never-
確認が5回ぐらい出る。本当によろしいですか？本当にいいのですね。もう二度と戻りませんよ。
だって
それでthose items will
もし
never come back. So are you sure you want
パン
that?
パンになったとするじゃないですか。
うん。
使ってないものを
そうね
取。り除こうってこれ大作業ですよ。
確かに。
ね
またさ、そういうこと言ってさ、過去何ヶ月その使ってないかで相当できるようにしてほしいとか。
I'd give
言い出
anything
してそれが取れる
to
んだ
have
ったら
WoW system.
その敷位置を自分で調整してまとめてリストを確認するやって。
Just-
それ
It just adds a whole other level to the game as well, because then you go around collecting everything.
Yeah, this is discussing more
It's a
about
whole new thing to do.
what happens if you take all of
そ
your
んなさ、
glamours
一
out
個
of
一
the
個の
glamour
データ
chest.
にさ、いつ使ったかなんて
Don't even want to think
覚えてないよ
about that.
If you
I've had to do that at
now,
least twice
you
now.
use the last piece of glamour, then this
Well,
whole
well,
bunch of features is going to like cause a lot of
まあ
troubles.
喜んでいただけ
Every
る
time they had a new
雑誌に
bloody
増えれば増えるほど喜んで
thing,
いただけると思う
like- What am I taking out now?
ということで
I put this stuff in there because I want it in here.
So for 400 expanded to 800.
そしてですね、なぜ今
God
っていう
damn
感
it.
じなんですけど、
はい
最後。
So
まあ
the next one will be like,
どちらかというとお知らせに近いんですが
why now?
リターントゥーイバリス関連のクエストの順番をちょっと一部調
We
整
get
させて
to,
い
there
た
will be
だ
adjustments
いけ
to
ま
the
す。
order of
い
a
ただき
certain
はい
return to
ワイ
Ivalice
ンの
quest.
つまみ、ワインのつまみ再びはですね、もう新規実習
So
できない。
he's listing out that the quest will be the making bacon, bread, and walk on by will become unavailable.
ということで、
Okay.
受注できなくなります。
なるほど。
はい。
Yeah. So players who are stuck there,
もう
you
これ
will no
随
longer
分
be able to progress the
リクエスト
quest.
いただいてたんですけど、
はい
僕が粘っててすいません。
Okay.
まあ
Yeah, we do receive some comments
Okay.
and
Okay.
feedbacks about
Okay.
it, so we
Okay.
address it
ですね
accordingly.
Fair enough.
はい。
So
ご注
sorry.
意ください。
そうですね。ご注意
はい。
Yeah, so for those players who are still in the quest, please take note.
うん
まあこういうことになります。
Right. That makes things better. Go for
は
it.
い。大体今日、
So this is roughly about it for today.
Nice, nice. There's a lot of stuff there, though.
で、まあ、
will be all of
新
the
コンテン
content that
ツ
we、
その
think is fine for us to
バリアン
review
スダン
today.
ジョンの、アナザーダンジョンの。
So there was no like 0.5 stuff, right? I guess that's a separate one.
まあ、だから6.25も超でかいパッチ。
There was 0.25.
多いですよ。
そう、だから結構
Repeating the
今
list
や
of
って
content
らっ
that
しゃる
was
方は、
scheduled to be released, it feels like
ね、
patch
形式組む
6.25
し、
will see quite a large
6.25
amount of content
ついに初の
and features.
4人用。
I'm intrigued to see.
as well. So 6.2
Oh, 2.5 is the point that I haven't in here.
continue raiding
その傍ら。
and clear savage while you are at it.
そうこうやっ
Then
てる
with
とね、次のゼットとか
6.25,
って
the criterion dungeons and everything will keep you busy for quite a
そう
while.
こうやってる
Cool, cool.
まあまあでも本当ご自身のペースでというわけで
It's because there's not a point, it's just 2.5, it's not 2.5. It throws me off a bit.
Please proceed then with your own pace.
まあちょっとねアップデートサイクルを 3.5 ヶ月からちょっと4ヶ月にスライ
So
ドさ
yeah,
せていた
this
だい
is
た分
to repeat the what has been discussed last time. There will be delaying the
で
development cycle
はい
from
で次回
3.5 months
の
to 4
PLL で
months
は
instead.
実機を交えてですね
Indeedy,
これらの
indeedy.
新しいところを
The next PLL feature will be demonstrating all the features through
はい
はい。
actual gameplay
と
footage.
いうことで、
Nice.
パッチ6
So hopefully you will be able to look forward to it.
あとはまあここまで
I'm looking forward to it, my
So
boy.
this
本
concludes
日
all
の
of the
プ
new
ロデューサー
features
レタ
that
ーと
will
進める前に
be
いくつ
implemented
か
for
お知ら
6.2
せ
for
事項
now.
が今日もございますので、
はい
Very cool.
So there will be announcements coming up.
と思います
うん
では最初のお知らせですが、
So
まず
first
はちょ
announcement,
っとご覧いただきたい動画があるので、
there will be a
Announced to me.
video, so please
どうぞ。
watch the video.
I shall watch the video. My eyes are peeking. What am I looking at? You will not bring an end to the music. That is our will, the will of all lives, past and present. Agreed. Very cool. Hmm. Da da da. Da 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 da. Bless him.
to the concert today, but really, they are all Warriors of Light.
Da, 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 da. Rah. That cut. Very well edited. Like it could be a live concert DVD or something. DVD. Jesus. You know what I mean. I mean, it may as well be a DVD. Cool. Or is it the actual concert? Okay. Oh no, Blu-ray disc, there we go. I was right the first time. Should believed in myself.
So the first announcement will be the Primus Live in Japan, Beyond the Beyond the Shadow. We will have a live Blu-ray release.
£45, huh? It's pricey.
It's going to be quite fast.
Special narration by Emmett Cell.
This will feature song list that is listed in the slide.
Honestly, worth it just for that.
There will be item codes available for it. So you get to have the Close in the Distance orchestral roll and Hit Steven Leone's orchestral roll. Both of them are beyond the Shadow version of it. So if
I was gonna say that, so you get close in the. I guess close in the distance it probably drops in the raid, doesn't it? I've just not got it yet.
いやついこの前やろ。
まあ実際そうです。
このようにっていうかついこの
I
前。
love that song.
もう気づけば1ヶ月。
え
If you can play music on your island, that will be on there all the time.
even though you say that this
ほら、ほら。
is like recently, you know, this concert is quite recent, I will have to let you know that this concert was actually last month. Wow, is it really last month? Yep. So 1 month has passed since then.
Okay.
なんかコメントで
I mean, that makes sense, yeah. It feels right.
So I saw the stream comments saying that is my voice or narration included in it as well. Like, why you guys didn't expect really?
I'm intrigued what the Emmett Cell narration's gonna be.
So yeah,
That'll be
まあ
fun.
この先もね、
Concert
プライマルズどんどん
Blu-ray
ね
will be
活動
released.
の幅とか
Perfect choice to have someone narrating it, isn't it?
まあものすごくいいライブだったので、ぜひあの時の
I hope he's dripping with sass.
もう一度体験でき
What's Emmett Cell is gonna be in
They
it?
are making a footage, so if you have already went to the concert and want to reminiscing back the concert, you will
最初の
purchase
お知
this
らせは、
Blu-ray.
プライマルズの
It's tempting, it's tempting.
はい
Have fun with it.
はい、それでは続いて次のお知らせです。
I'll say.
Ends of the first announcement, we are going
こ
into
ちら
the
すでに
second one.
SNS の
Mass
方で
game
お知らせ
pack.
しておりますが
A summer
This is already
song.
been posted on SNS, but
14エディションのサマーセールが
we are going to release, we are going to
Ah,
have a
that thing.
summer sale
こちらがですね
for
I've not actually tried that. Yeah, to be honest.
20%
Perhaps one day.
So the promotion will be lasting up till the 19th of July, where the purchase of Immerse Game Pack will give you a 20% discount.
うん
ぜひともご検討い
That's
まあ
nice.
ねフリートライア
If
ルあります
you
あ、そうですね。フリートライアル
want
はいまず
to
試
give
して
it
み
a
て
try, you may give it a try. Through a
多
free
分
trial.
ねこれね
And if
慣
you're
れた人はねちょっともうなんか別にねえなっていう感じじゃないかな
普通になっちゃうんでね。
うん
I really should give it a go.
うん
I just have not done so yet.
そうなんです。
I don't know how that would translate to streaming.
あの機材
I don't know if it would mess with things or whatever.
あんまりそうじゃなくて、ソフトウェ
I
ア
can't imagine it would. I just don't know that it would come free for
や
you.
ってくれるん
You
で
know, it's not
これね
only
一回やると
Who
ね
knows?
a
Someone.
feature that doesn't
Somebody
require
knows.
hardware,
物
but
足り
can
ね
be
えな
done
って
through
な
software
ると思
instead.
うまあぜひね本当
Somebody out
これ
there.
は人によって合う合わない
But it is not
これ
I.
いいなっていう人もいれば
Of
いや
course,
まあ
there
今
will
まで
be
でいいや
people
って人もいる
who
んで
think
まあ
this
本当フリート
feature
ライアルあ
really
るんで
helps
ぜひ一回試して
improve their
みてくだ
experience,
さい
and those don't think so. But if you're still interested in trying out, please give it
は
a
い、そして
consideration.
続いてのお知らせです。続いてこちら。
はい Announcement
は
will be
い、日本
New
系の
TV
お知らせ
show?
本日、午後に、
出てます
発表されましたけれども、
はい
ファイナルファンタジー14を吉本
there will be another
Interesting.
new TV show featuring entertainers from Yoshimo Kogyo Company, looking for party members.
決定いたしました。
This will
なんとね
be
吉本さんからお
at
話い
later
はい
on.
ただいて
Okay.
That starts at every
回
Sunday and
これがなんと、
spans 12
一週間後ですね、来週7月9日土曜日から
this will be sorry, a correction here. This will be scheduled to
One sec.
show on Saturday.
うん、
the 9th
生
of
放
July.
送じゃなくてね、もうだから、もうまさにバラエティ
An
So
actual
do not let this
FFTV
is not
show
live.
would be
So-
amazing.
マヨネーズのコスメさんインパルスの
Just throwing that out there.
ユーピーさん
はい。
それから、ガリーレコード
Okay.
高井
It would be
が
amazing.
中心にですね、お送りいただけるということで、
うん。
なかなか楽しみですね。
もうぜひこれは。
シンプルに楽しみです。
いやもう。
It's going to be an interesting show. So those who are living in Japan and if you're interested in trying out, do give it,
めっちゃ言ってたんで。
do see if you have access to BS Yoshimoto
ぜひ
channel.
ともご期待ください。
行きたかったです、僕も。
あ
そう、収録。そう。
Yeah, like the new
Yoshida
Dragon
commented
Age
that he
Netflix
wanted to
series.
attend the
Something Final Fantasy event wise would be cool.
Production
I know they
shop
released like little
for
animated
as well,
shorts. They
but
they
it's a
look
bit too
cool.
easy to attend. So
はい。
I think like a slice of life thing would be cool though, not like a redoing of the story. Just like something new happening in that universe.
ヨルゼアカフェ in
Would be cool.
So limit time, Eosa Cafe opened in Kyoto, Nagoya, and Yokohama.
です。
はい。
はい、すでに始まっておりますが、6
Though this is
月
already
15日から
ongoing.
8月30
Well, that's cool
で横浜
for
店
those places.
of June.
いよいよ夏といえば
Tuesday to August, the 31st of August.
しますので、ぜひとも
And the Yokohama one will be open at the 15th of July. Whoever is in Japan right now, you can take note and this. If you want to attend the cafe, please give it a try.
Looks very cool.
So for details, you may refer to the
エオ
Eosa Cafe website.
はい、
は
はい、よろしくお願いします。はい、そして最後もう一つあります。どう
So
ぞ
the next one will be
はい、こちら新規ではないん
Sharing
ですが、最近いく
information
つか
regarding
重要なお知らせをいくつか公開しておりますので、
regarding expansion of Japanese
so
data
this is not
centers
really
and
news, but a list of recent important announcements as of July 1st, 2022.
あってとかいう場合に、
Alrighty.
So for those who are unaware of what's happening in Lotus Note, but are watching this stream right now, you may want to take a note of the 4
あとそれから
announcements
来週
listed.
に控えておりますが、日本データセンター各所に伴うさまざまな施策と
So
注意点がござい
in
ますので、
addition
こちら
to
も
the
トピック
list,
ス出ており
the
ま
one that is
す。
listed
同様
earlier,
に欧州データ
there
センター
will
の
be
新ワールド追
we,
加につい
we
て
we
も
also have major announcements on the new
そしてもう一つ、
Japanese data
エリアにお
center.
ける土地の
That's scheduled to be
購入部分
released
の変
next week.
更
Alrighty.
If you want to know what's going on, please refer to
変
our
更が
local
行
site.
われるお知らせ
Yeah, the man. Go read them.
そちらもぜひとも皆さんはい、
はい。
So please,
はい、
yeah, if
You
you
read
think that
them
this
so I
is
don't
important
have to.
お知らせ
to
事項は
your,
以上です。
if you think that this is
ね、
important
一
to
個
you,
だけね、
please
I'm gonna make a video of that
回線
one
のや
watch.
つ
the loadest one.
ちょっとね、情報システム部とサーバー班かわいそうだったんで、ちょっとだけ補足、別に画面切り替えなくていいんだけど、パッチ6.1の、
Do
こ
do
のお知らせを
da
出した
da
ら、
do.
すげえたくさん皆さんでデータくださったんですよ。
はい
くださったんで、サーバーチームとうちの情
いやいや
報システムのインフラエンジニアたちが
はい
各 ISP に連絡をね、すごい取ったんですよ、データいただいたんで。で、メンテナンス中に
Yeah, I'm interested to see how those
すごい勢い
European
で
New Worlds
各
work.
ISP さん調整してくれたんで、 パッチ
how well they
6.1
do.
当たった時にすげえ改善さ
It'd
れ
be
た
good if they get like another player list
なんかやっぱパッチのせいじゃんってすげえ言われて、
for the next expansion, I guess.
あれはちょっと
Well, that help.
かわいそうだったんで。
So
With
regarding the recent
the server
screw-ups of
issues.
the housing part, this apparently brought a lot of grief to the server team as well as the information systems team.
なんでパッチ当たった治ったじゃん吉田の嘘つきって書かれてたんで
And yeah, a lot of really
そうなんです
like terrible struggles happened.
頑張ってるんで
Mm.
ぜひねポジティブに受け取っていただ
After
ける
this
と
announcement, we got a lot of data sent from the
で
players and we got
結構まだ
ISPs,
今
the
国内の大手さんであるん
internet
ですけ
service
ど
providers of
そ
Japan
こ
together
は
to improve
デ
the
ータ
quality of connection.
Can't help but be assholes, can they?
もあるけど
To do all of this
もうなんか
maintenance.
どうやら
But apparently, even after that, there were a lot of voices
僕も
slamming
食らってるんであ
the
れな
server
んですけ
team
ど
and as
思う
well
と
as
ころはあるんです
the information system team,
ちょっと
along with
引き
other
続きこれ
parties that were
逆に
involved.
デ
And
ータいただけ
Yoshida
ると
felt
どれ
that
だけこ
they
う
really didn't
なん
deserve
だ
it.
ろう我々と
So-
No, can't imagine they did.
あの
Working so hard to address the problem, but still getting
署名でもあると思
slammed.
うんで、
はい
ぜひ引き続きですね、この時間帯にこんなロスが出るんだ。改めて、
But this
これする
doesn't
と
Bloody
mean
people.
that
このトピック
you
スに
are
書いてあります
you are
はいぜ
discouraged
ひ情
from
報をお寄せいただけると。
reporting any form of
以外の生活に
connection issues. So if you are still experiencing packet loss and all that, please detail out what happened to your connection.
Do it a little decently, you know?
At what time and
need to be rude about
the
it.
condition that the whole
で
packet
まあ
loss
コ
occur
メントにあったん
and
ですけど
report it into the report
本
it
当
to
に
the
ISP に取らせてくれたんだねみたい
to
な。
the
いやいやいやいやいや、それはそうですよ。
official
そのため
forums
にトピックス出してるので。
so that you can bring
で
them
特に
to
やっ
their
ぱり
attention.
スクエアエニックスって11の頃からやっぱりその大規模なこう
So yeah,
Internet
once again to
回線
repeat,
使った
we
ゲーム
ask
っていう
you
のを運
to
営を
keep
長くや
providing
ってき
data
てい
on
るんだ
lags
け
and
本
packet
当
loss
にい
in
ろん
the
な
future.
ISP さんと長く
And post them in
そ
the
の
official
コミュニ
forums
ケーショ
if
ン取
you
らせていただい
see
てるん
anything,
で、やっぱり
so
こう
that they can
で
keep they
や
can
り
keep
取り
working on how to
色
improve
が
the
早い
connection.
とか
Duty.
やっぱり今こっち
Square
非
Enix
常に
have
ね
been
たく
operating
さん
other
の
games
方に
like
プレイして
Final
いただ
Fantasy
いてる
XI
の
in the
で
past that
デ
require
ータを
heavy
たくさん
connection
集めていただけ
and
る
network.
と向こうもなかなか調査が効かない部分っていうのが皆さんからいただけたデータでなるほどここに問題があるのかじゃあこうつなぎ替えたらこうルート変わるから流れるようになるねみたいな感じで調整していただけるので皆さんからのデータってものすごい
Many
貴重な
reports
ので
and data, many reports and data.
Sorry, there's a plane outside.
reported by the
Struggling
players.
to.
僕らも
They get
協力していこうと
to
思います。
use this as a reference point to find out that oh, this particular internet connection happens at this particular time. This particular issue happens at this particular time. Then they get to pinpoint where exactly the whole issue occurred and how it occurred, so that they can devise something to address the issue. So your cooperation, players' cooperation on the matter is appreciated.
Yes, yes. Very cooperation.
何をやってるかっていうと、
No being a
カ
dick.
スタマーサポートにご連絡いただいた
You're the
さ
man.
まざまなお客様からのフィードバックを取りまとめて、いろんなプロジェクトに連絡をするっていうここの部分の研修をされてた方がいて、で、
So first one is also detailing that
私驚いたことがありま
what
す。
happens
言っていて、何って聞いたら、意見って本当に届くんですねっていう、その
あ
受け取ったままでどうせ届いてないんやろとプレイヤーユーザー時代は思ってたんだけど、いざ研修に来てみたらちゃんと全件ちゃんと精査して渡すんだねっていうことを
Yeah, so first one is also experiencing his reciting, recall his stories, where there are many players who send their reports through the customer support center,
Right.
and the feedback that were collected by the support center has been distributed back to their respective departments.
こんな人がこう
And
なって累積でこう
he
なんです
also
けど
saw
みたい
many
なのも
comments that
全部来ますんで
comments from players saying that oh, this particular issue has been addressed, so they really work on it.
まあぜひね
as well.
有益な情報をお送りいただければ
So it's just a
プレイヤーの皆さんの
conversation with Yoshida about what happens when when customers trying to send their feedback to the company.
Okay,
結構ね早いな短いなっていうお声もあるんですけど最近がね多分長すぎただけなんじゃないかな。長いとそうそう
So this
まあ
ends
でも言っても2時間
producer letter life for today. And
Lovely.
they are both
はい、
trying
では最後、
having
伊沢さんから
some
皆
chit
さん
chats here.
一言いただいて締める
Alrighty.
Right.
は
So
い
this ends the producer letter
白く
life.
ていい
So
ねやっ
last
ぱりちょ
words
っといろん
from
な
Yoshida.
初めての試みとかまあこっちの
That was a good time.
まあすごい大混乱で
What stuff?
大変ご迷惑をおかけしたんですけど改め
What
て
fun
So,
stuff.
Yoshida apologizes for what happened during 6.1 because there are many new challenges ahead and a lot of
たくさんのコンテン
there
ツ
are a lot of some members who are still new into the project and they are
大
working
体
hard to address it.
約まあ
But they are
我々開発チーム的にはあと
going to
1ヶ月
continue
ちょっとぐらいしかもう
Yeah.
時
and
間
work on
が
the challenges
ないんですけ
non-stop
どまあ
without
ここからね
running away.
できるだけ
So
楽しんでいただけ
hopefully
るように調整
they will learn from the lesson from the previous scrubs
開発
and they will proceed it very carefully to ensure that the same mistake will
でよ
not
ろしくお願いし
will
ま
not
す
repeat anymore.
あとはまあ
Will
はい
not
なん
happen
か
again.
ね
It's all about
ちょ
learning.
っとゆっくり散歩的な放送でもできればいい
So
なとは
once everything settles down, Yoshiki would like to do another Yoshiki taking a stroll
は
segment
い参加して
where he will visit various data centers and servers
はい
to play with the players.
That's nice.
持ちまして第72
That's about
回
it.
そろそろ
Cool.
ローマ数字も読みづらくなっておりましたが
そろそろ今に始まったことじゃないはいはい
戦い
はい
第72
I enjoy that they are fun.
So this concludes the 71st production of Letter Life.
Awesome.
And the part 2 will be in the future, so please look forward to it. See ya!
Bye. Alright. Awesome. That was good. It was a fun time. So, oh, I didn't pause it. I'll pause it. Ooh. So what was the big things? Like obviously MSQ, Hildebrand, Bitaru. All that's coming. We kind of knew that was. Well, I mean, we knew everything was coming, but still. Well, not so much the dungeons. The dungeons are the interesting thing, right? So the story version sounds fun, and the wonder is how like they branch off, but how much they branch off, and how does the branching off work, and it sounds like that could make for a good bit of fun content. I'm assuming, since they specifically called it casual content, and there's no like, and there's like a normal, technically a normal version. I guess it's a bit different since there's not the branching and it's predetermined, and they have different abilities. But I mean, it's like comparing LFR to normal, I guess, in WoW. But yeah, I'm assuming there's not going to be much in the way of sort of loot in that. I'm assuming the progression of the casual mode is the story, which is quite cool. The normal mode, I still don't really get why that exists. Because presumably any like gear or anything that you might get from it would come from the Savage version. And the more casual experience of it will be the what they call them, the variety dungeons or whatever. That would be that. So I don't know what whole the normal mode is. I guess if people want to do the hard version but easier. But I don't really see the point in that personally. I feel like it's like the ultimate, right? I feel like that would be like, well, here's the casual version of the ultimate. Like, you don't do that for a reason, right? But the Savage version sounds very interesting. It sounds like something I think people will enjoy. Sounds like something I probably won't do because I'm a coward. I'm a chicken shit. Maybe I'll give it a go. Who knows? I'm interested to see how people take to the no revive stuff. And what's the other one? The other big thing. There's another big thing. You can't revive, and there's something. We can find it, can't we? Where are we here? PvP. It's before PvP, I feel. It's after raids, maybe. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Variant dungeons, right? That's what they're called, variant. So yeah, parties, a few of them, 4, but it's 4-player. You have the roles, which is not super surprising. Oh yeah, time limit. They come stronger if you don't do it in a time limit. I'm interested to see how people take to that, because personally, that's one of the more off-putting things about Mythic in WoW. I mean, I know it works differently, right? They don't get stronger if you have to do it in that time limit in WoW if you want the loot. But still, I'm intrigued to see how the people that do that kind of content will take to it, because this isn't something that I'm going to probably engage with really. But I think it's a really cool idea as sort of a basis, right? And I think that's sort of a free put with a lot of the stuff they've been introducing in these patches, is that it's a really good, solid, like, foundation to build off of. Sort of with this, right? If people don't take to the time limits or the no revives, then you can build on that going forward, and you make adjustments to that. But it's like you've got this content now. It's something you can sort of, because like I said before, I do think it's only fair that there is more content for that part of the player base that likes the more hardcore stuff, yeah. 'Cause so far really there's only ultimates. I know there's like savage raiding and stuff, but I guess that's not, I don't know. That stuff probably doesn't take quite as much time to do, presumably, as like an ultimate. So I think it's fun to add more content for them, especially when there's so much casual content in it being added. I can't exactly, like, as someone who focuses on the more casual side of stuff, I've got nothing to complain about with this. Like, there's shit ton for me to do here. So I think it's only fair that they had more hardcore stuff. I'm interested to see how people take to it. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how it develops and grows. I assume what it starts as will not be what it ends as, you know? One dungeon per go, I could imagine being a bit controversial though. I don't know. Like I feel like people would be like with the what the bloody hell did they call them? Need to get the name down. The variant dungeons. One per go makes sense because it's just you're really just doing it for the story. Presumably there's going to be no sort of element of progression there. But if there is an element of progression to the Savage version, which I assume there will be, I wouldn't expect it with normal. I would think it would mostly just be tombs you would get from that. But I feel like there should be some sort of progression with the Savage, right? If it's going to be that difficult. Then I feel like if there's only one, people are probably going to get bored of that quite quickly. So I guess that's another element of building upon it. The more they add, the more interesting it'll get for people. Yeah. Then what else was there? The adventure plates is another thing. Obviously that's already been implemented now, but it's another cool thing just to add in and then build upon. It's just another one of those things that just sort of adds a nice new element to the game and spruces it up a little bit, gives it a bit more character. I'm looking forward to seeing them implement it into more things going forward. Interesting that they chose Mahjong first. I guess that's because that's the least intrusive thing to add it into. Because, I mean, adding it into a dungeon would be interesting, right? Because I think if you're going to do that, you have to... The only way to really do it would be to, like with the dungeons, to replace those entrance dungeons, those intro cutscenes, and have it be there instead of that. Otherwise, you'd have the intro cutscene, which obviously you can skip, but then you would have that on top of it. That's like two things to skip. If you wanted to skip the actual plates as well, right? You could have it, I suppose, that the first time you go in, you see the cutscene, and then after that, you get the plates, and then maybe there's an option in the settings to pick. I don't know. I'd like to see it there. And in the alliance raids, that would be fun too, like seeing all 24 of them scattered on the screen. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm glad they're adding more to it. I'm glad they're keeping it going. And then, like, the most exciting thing is the Island Sanctuary, right? When they announced it back with Endwalker, I was like, that was the thing that's like, ooh. I mean, I'm here for the story first and foremost, but that looks cool. That's like the kind of thing that could keep me going. It was that and Crystal Conflict, but predominantly that. And then they were like, temper your expectations, which worked. I did temper my expectations quite a bit, because my first thought process was Animal Crossing, because this is what it sounded like. And that's the thing I've got the most experience with, which is not much, but it's there. But like, sort of a Stardew Valley vibe. And to like it still kind of seems like it's got a lot of that element to it. I guess it's just gonna be maybe it's gonna be more restricted. We don't know yet. Like it said on that thing, build your island, but that's like PR talk, right? How much of that do you actually get to do? Do you get to decide where your base of operations goes? Or is there like a slot that you just have to put it on? Which is, in line with the keep your expectations low is what I'm going to go with. Because I don't want to be thinking I can put all these buildings everywhere and then get to it and like, nah, this can only go here and this can go here. I'm just going to assume that there are predetermined spots for things. As much as I would love to be able to just freely put anything anywhere, I think that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm like the actual. It'll be interesting to see what the progression's like. Because I assume there's some level of progression with it. There has to be, right? And not just like unlocking the rewards. Like any rewards that are usable outside of that. Sure, I guess, but I mean, personally, I imagine, and would quite like a lot of the rewards to be. I don't even know if you would say rewards, but like, I would hope there's a progression system within there, right? That you can, I don't want to say battle pass, but sort of that kind of level of. I got to level 1, I get this thing. I got to level 2, I got this thing. Something like that. Yeah. They mentioned people want you to be able to invite your NPCs. That's the thing I thought would be really cool. Right. We're talking now we're talking what it could be, right? I love the idea of this isn't just my island. This is our island. Let me build you a little house over here to go live in, right? This is your hut on the island, Graha. You can live here. And every now and then he'll be there and he'll have some unique conversation thing, and I can be like, yo, do you want to go and have a cup of tea? You stole her. Let's go have a cup of tea. And then we have a cup of tea in the one thing I really wanted after finally finishing the game was the companions in Byway. You have conversations with them and stuff, right? And you get that sort of throughout the game, but it would just be cool to me to have that as something you could just do every now and then, that they would just add new conversations to them. And I think this would be a really great system to integrate that into, right? You can give them a little place to, they can come and visit your island, and there's their house when they do so. And when they're there, because, they won't be there all the time. It would be random who shows up, but you could, maybe you could invite them over, and they would come. And it wouldn't, I don't think it should just be the Scions either. I think, the leaders and stuff, most prominent characters, but, add more as you go on. But that's what I'd like to see it turn into. I think that would be cool. Yo, let's go for a cuppa. Come around to mine. I bought the coffee table. The table where you sit on it, and if you invite someone to have coffee with you on it, and then you can just have some random like Fire Emblem, right? Where you have the tea time with that. Just you can ask them a bunch of questions, and they give predetermined answers or something. I don't know. I think that would be really cool. And then I think you could build that on into the future even further, where forget about the NPCs. You build your island and you build houses for your friends. They can just, stay there and chill there. You build an FC island, right? That's the kind of thing that is not going to be at the start. But that's the kind of thing it could become. And that's what excites me about it. So the potential of it. I mean, I say that as if what's there is not exciting. What's there already is very exciting. And seems like it could be something to actually spend time on doing. I think for me, I'm lacking something like that in the game at the minute. I went full on with Crystalline Conflict at the start, and then I haven't played it as much since, but I would like to get back into it. It's the same thing with a lot of PvP games, where if I have to play a class to be sort of competitive, or if I like a class and I can't play it being competitive, I'm gonna trail off, right? So I ended up playing Machinist in it, which I quite like Machinist. It's fun. But I wanted to play Reaper or Sage, and I was doing terribly every time I tried to play either of those classes. But then I play Machinist and I'm doing fine. I get to gold rank in a reasonable amount of time, I think. And then after that, you hear, right, oh, people are cheating in this and using all these things. And I'm like, wait a minute, that thing you're describing, that happened. And I'm like, oh, that explains why everything went really bad yesterday. Because there was a lot of that going on. And it's like, that sucks. Because it's fun, but if that stuff's going to be there, then it's very off-putting. So I don't know if they're gonna get rid of that or not. I don't know. I imagine that's the very hard thing to get rid of. So, like, there's the beach tribes, but that's like 10 minutes a day, and I wouldn't want it to be any more than that. So it's just, it would be nice to have something to work towards in it, I guess. I have high hopes for it. I have high hopes for it in its implementation, but, you know, tempered expectations, as they have said to have. I'd love to see what they do. I hope they see sort of the reaction that people had when they announced it and thought it was something like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, and think, well, if that's what people got that excited about it, maybe we should, you know, turn it into that. Not turn it into that, but push it more in that direction. No, not even that, because it already is in that direction, but, you know, like, push this. You know, this should be like a big thing we work on, because I think it's something that could end up being very popular with this player base. And if it's like just imagine like a Stardew, and it's like a Stardew MMO, right? Like, it just like it continually improves and more gets added to it, like obviously, and it evolves with the patches. Like your farm just evolves with the patches, your island, and you get more facilities as time goes on. And I don't know, that sounds really cool to me. I think that would be something that would bring a lot of people in, especially if it's not something. Because my thought process, and it still kind of is that you'll get this during the MSQ. I don't think they should do that though, because I think there are a lot of people that would be drawn to this system that would not give a crap about playing anything else in the game. And I think if you want them, then you need to make it very accessible early on. I don't know. I guess it depends if they want those people or not. I suspect they do. But yeah, I think it should be something accessible early on. I hope you can use decorations on it. That was one of the things I was predominantly excited about initially, because I didn't have a house to put them in. Now I do, but it's still cool for people that don't. So I think they should do that. Yeah. The minions thing is cool, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I'm not super excited about that, but I think it's cool that it's a thing. I'm just looking forward to seeing the building stuff. Well, I'm interested to see the building stuff, because I feel like they were unless I missed it, they were quite not very descriptive about how that's gonna work. Like, you can customize your thing, but how much can you customize it? Right, it's gonna be, you'll be able to, presumably when it comes to the base building, it'll be like housing. You get to pick from like a predetermined buildings, and then they'll add more in the store later on. But you can choose the color of the roof and the walls and stuff. It'd be stuff like that, which is cool to me. The thing I want the most is to be able to put it wherever I want, right? That's what would be cool. It's just, and is there going to be more buildings than just the operational building? There's like a windmill in the artwork, so presumably there is. Stable maybe, yeah, there's got to be places to put like the animals you're looking after. And that bit where there's like, ooh, the shiny ones. That's cool. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm super excited to see where it goes. Series 2 of PvP could be fun. That'll be fun. The dungeons, obviously I'll have fun with the casual version. I think people will have fun with them, just figuring them out. I still don't. I guess it's not an issue that the normal version exists. It's something else, something different to do to get tombstones, presumably. So I guess from that perspective, yeah, makes sense to have them. I rescind what I said. It does have a place. Although you could just add those tombstones to the casual one instead. Why not? Alright. So maybe I don't rescind what I said. But yeah, that sounds cool. MSQ I'm very much looking forward to, of course. I do wonder if there will be a new zone. Because the Mandeville thing is the relic weapon, right? There was no mention there of a new zone, right? Because usually the relic, or at least the last two relics came with a new zone, I believe. Because Boja was obviously, well, it's like 2 zones. And then there's Eureka, which I haven't done. But, it's like, if they're not putting the, you know, if that time isn't going into making a new zone for the relic weapon, maybe it's being done to make one for the MSQ. That could be kind of cool. Because, you know, if we're going to the Void World, it'd be cool to have an explorable area in the Void World, right? That'd be pretty cool. I'd be down for that. I mean, my thought process on that initially was that they should have like 2 separate versions of the relic world. So if they had like, say for instance, they had the relic weapon in the Void World, you would queue in for that like you do Boja, but there would also be like an actual open proper zone with it where you could go and have MSQ quests there. So there'd be 2 different versions of it. I think that would have worked too, like, but I would love to be able to go and explore that world. That would be cool. It'd be very different as well, right? Because it's not just one big landmass from what we've seen of it so far. It's a lot of like winding staircases and corridors and stuff. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what that's all about. And then I wonder how much further we're gonna go with that part of the story, the Void stuff. I wonder if there'll be stuff besides that in the MSQ, or if it'll just be all focused on that. That'd be interesting. Because we've not gone to see Alpha No and Alizé yet, have we? See what they're doing in Garlemald. I assume that's going to come up at some point. I don't know when the trial series happens. I guess that happens in 6.3. I don't know. This is kind of my first patch series, I guess. Because I caught up and it's 5.3. So, which is the perfect time to catch up. Except for Endwalker, I guess that would be the perfect time to catch up. But still, I chose the second perfect time to catch up. Because that final quest and cutscene felt like the final quest and cutscene. It was really cool. I was very lucky. But yeah, this is sort of my first time doing a full patch progress, so I'm still figuring out what comes when. So I don't know when the trial series comes, presuming there is one. Oh, I'm interested to see what comes next. I assume the second part of this will be a lot closer to release, which is late August, they said. Which makes sense. Yeah, I'm excited. The duties they're doing. Like I said, I'm waiting till I do like a new game plus to try those. I've not touched them yet, the new dungeons. I've not done much roulette since they come out, so I've not been in. I think I've maybe been in one of them. I think, but I don't really remember. I think it was the Ishgard one, maybe. It didn't seem that. Yes, I did do the Ishgard one, and it wasn't. That one wasn't that different. I think that one of the bosses was quite different. Like the one where you shoot at the dragons isn't there anymore. Shoot at the dragon, whatever. Like that whole bit was like blown up and it's something else now. Which is cool. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of them, but like I say, I'm waiting until the graphics update, until all that trust stuff's in there. Otherwise, I'm gonna do it with the trust stuff, and then I'll be like, the graphics update will come, and I'm like, well, now I want a new game plus it with a graphics update. And I'm like, so I may as well. I'm gonna force myself to wait, so that's all there. So I don't want to do it again, right? So I'm not like, oh, if I had waited, then I could have seen it all again with better visuals, right? That's my thought process on it. But yeah, I'm going to head off. So thank you. Oh, that was awesome. I shall see you all next time. So long, farewell. How are you doing? Atu.